Oh.
Hello, guys.
Howdy.
Hello.
We're just waiting for Alex.
Alex.
Yes.
The other Alex.
Yeah. I think he answered now.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I think everybody's here.
You'd think Bryce would be the first one to connect always, but...
Well, he is unconscious.
Must be getting slow.
Well, he did just have the doctor mess around with his brain, so... Him and
Yeah, sorry, it was delayed for some reason. My joining the call.
So...
Yeah, everyone raise your hand if you've had the doctor operating on you.
Well, we all have, because he had to put in the flesh port things.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's messed with all of you.
Yeah. How many people have beeping things removed from their head?
How many of you have had a bomb implanted in your skull?
Well, how do we really know at this point? It could be any number of us.
Yeah, you all could have bombs by now.
Yeah.
Now we're calling into question the good doctor's sensibilities. It begins.
Yes, because it could be like crazy Batman syndrome and just, we'll have a failsafe so that if any of you go insane, I can destroy you.
Well,
It makes a certain degree of sense.
Yes, given that, like, weirdness is happening with our minds. Yeah. I just don't necessarily like the idea of one dude controlling all of that, because if he goes insane, he can kill all of us before we can do anything.
Yeah, it's like fighting insanity with more insanity.
Yeah.
Isn't it always the way?
I would argue at this point that our job is done, or at least preempted, by the fact that there's an alien army coming to kill us all. So, we don't need to go investigate the rift. We know what came out of it, and it's scary, and it's coming to conquer us.
It's nothing but bad news bears.
So, our mission now would be get proof, get back to our cultures, and tell them, look, these things are real, and they are coming to kill you.
Well, we do have the vessel, so that's pretty good proof right there. So we got that.
Yeah, and I believe the vessel has bodies in it. Like, we burned the bodies that were in the Aeschylus.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But I think the bodies that are in the vessel itself that was attached to ours are still there.
Yeah. I don't think that you guys did anything with the aliens. You froze them, I believe. I don't think you actually disposed of the bodies. I think you disposed of the human bodies, or did you throw the aliens out into space too?
I don't think we actually got around to disposing of the bodies just yet.
We didn't do anything, yeah.
Yeah, well, when we saw the vessels, the last thing we did was like, oh, we're hightailing it out of here. We did the docking procedure with our old vessel onto the Aeschylus, and then we booked it.
Okay, it was just all talk then. Okay.
Yeah, out of those Grav 5s, those sweet-ass engines.
You guys are twice as fast as you once were.
I think Longbear is going to argue that we need more information from the Rift. We don't know what energies are coming from it. We don't understand it. We don't understand the powers that we've gained. We don't understand anything, really.
Right, but there are the aliens are already conquering our worlds, and no one knows that they exist yet.
Well,
kind of need to be
it's your world they're conquering, not mine.
But still, no one knows they exist. Whichever culture you want to defend, they all need to know that there's this new threat that's coming to kill them. And there's already, and not only that, but it's vastly better equipped and stronger than we are, as evidenced by how easily they've taken over the things they've attacked so far. We managed to defeat our little boarding party, but it was very difficult, and the Aeschylus, which is a massive ship with massive guns, was not able to do anything, really.
Well, I still believe that the scientists caused those problems. They had hacked into the systems. The other guys probably snuck in and said, hee, the ship's undefended. Let's take it over.
All right.
Yeah, so right now you're all on the Ageless. You have the your previous ship docked and on the bottom, I think in grappling hooks, and the alien ship is still wedged in the side of that one. So that is currently where you're at. There was some debate about where you guys are going to travel. There's a bunch of different options. It kind of sounded like you wanted to go to some unnamed asteroid that's not settled and hang out there and sort of recoup, maybe fix up your bots, fix up your ships, investigate the alien ship that's wedged in the side of your vessel. There's lots of possibilities here. You could also go to established asteroid, something that has population like Juno, Eros, Pallas, Ceres, or Vesta, but all of them sort of have different political leanings. Some of them are independent, some of them are more maverick. There's also the Earther station that you guys know of, that's ICOM, but that's the one that went dark. That's the one that's not communicating with anybody. So you're not sure if it's also been infiltrated or something's going on with it. And on the map in the Battlefront book, that's listed as Alnac Station. So
I feel, I mean, I don't think showing up with a capital ship is good anywhere. Like, hey, look what we found. Okay, sure you did. You know, no one's gonna believe us. You know, I don't like Earthers, like the captain.
Yeah, I think if we're
I
not...
like Mavericks, but we can't defend the ship from a whole thing of Mavericks.
Yes, I think if we're not going to warn people about the Quay, then we should definitely go somewhere where there's people, because I think we need a mental health day as much as we need time to repair the ship. But you're right, we do have the problem of how do we defend the ship and or hide the ship so that no one takes it.
I think we can accomplish all those objectives. If we're going to go to a station, it does need to be a very neutral station, one that doesn't really care too much. Maverick is a possibility, because there are stolen ships all the time, so to speak.
Yeah.
But at the same time, while we do that, we could, the first priority is of course to find a neutral station, and then our second priority would have to be start doing repairs, and at the same time we can start sending out some sort of probe, some sort of warning messages with images of the ships and stuff, maybe even some samples inside those pods to say, hey, look, this is no joke, with like some of the aliens on the inside of it, and then like send those out possibly. I mean, these are like suggestions and possibilities, of course.
Just to sort of list some of these, Ceres is controlled by the Nest. They're a group of Mavericks, a gang, I guess. Eros is controlled by Gonjan. Juno is controlled by the Regulators. They're Mavericks. What else is there? Pallas is controlled by Gonjan. Themis is controlled by the Hellcats, but you guys had previously dealt a little bit with them. And Vesta is unknown as far as who controls them. So those are just some possibilities, but those don't have to be the only possibilities. You have the whole solar system at your fingertips if you want to travel to wherever.
I figure Theo would know somewhere relatively safe that would, in terms of neutral stations.
Yeah, I think we'll just we'll head to a small backwater station. They don't often get much traffic.
Okay, maybe something that's not detailed in the setting book. We can just come up with it as we want to on the fly. That works.
Okay. Well, let's head to.
Well, it has to be big enough to have docking facilities for a capital ship too. Right?
Oh yeah.
Otherwise, it's not going to be worth going there to berth it to repair it. So that's the problem that I see. I mean, along those seas, it's just where you need a giant space area to fix this ship. I mean, we could leave the hole in it. I guess it's no big deal, but I guess we could park this somewhere and then fly our beat up ship back. I don't know. I don't at this point. I'm not an engineer.
That was one that I had. Like, we put our capital ship somewhere, then that's within flying distance of the other, of an more inhabited place, and then we fly one of our smaller ships there.
I just found a list of asteroids, and I came up with Brokoff. If you guys want to detail what Brokoff is. We'll say that that's a minor backwater asteroid that maybe perhaps has some sort of mining settlement on it. Maybe something else. It's open to color by number here. So.
I was also thinking about how the docking would work, actually. And I don't know, would it be possible that they would all have universal, like, docking things, like, to accommodate all vessels if need be? I'm not sure.
What do you think?
Well, we make it simpler for us. I'm trying to, like, think. Like, you're not going to pull up a big rig next to a small... Yeah, I don't know.
I'm guessing probably the larger stations probably could handle a ship of this size. I'm guessing maybe most wouldn't. But that's just my take on it. It doesn't have to be the only take.
Well, I suppose we can always park it within, like, sight distance. That way, if anything really major happens, we can just book it right there.
You can put in, like, an orbit around and give
Aim it at the asteroid. Free repairs, please. I would just be afraid that someone would steal it.
We would have to leave people on board then, wouldn't we? And
oh yeah, whatever ship we use, we're going to have to leave people on board because we don't want them stealing any of these things.
As you guys are discussing this, something strange starts to happen with your movements. Whenever you move an arm or turn your head, there's this strange trail of multiple images, varying hues of red, green, and blue. And if you would move your arm from left to right in front of your eyes, you'd see about 3 of your arms behind it of various shades.
Is anyone else getting this trippy effect?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I thought the engine fumes were getting to me.
What? Is it persistent, Tim? Is it still going on?
It seems to be persistent for a while. It's ongoing.
Longbear looks down and begins checking out all the different gauges to make sure like our speed's not changing or we're not hitting some sort of weird quantum field or warping or I don't know, anything out of the ordinary.
The sensors are reporting some sort of strange quantum effect, but they are unsure of its origination. But if you had to guess, you'd probably have a number one suspect. Namely the Rift.
Is everyone on the bridge like right now? Or are we?
Yeah, I'm in engine room at the moment because we had to. No, I was in the docking bay because I had to help do the manual clamping of the ship at that moment.
Right. I'm piloting. Captain, you're probably in the captain's ship, really?
I'm probably in bridge still because we were deciding where we were going.
Bryce is wherever he was left, probably in that bay.
Yeah, that's probably okay.
With the doctor.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, we should figure out who's going to play Kazuko and who's going to play the Doctor today. You have any volunteers?
I can do either one.
I'll continue to play Kazuko. I want to play the Doctor so that he like messes up, but no, that's not. What? Yes, I did put a grenade in your head. Not really? Well, I had no idea. No. Yeah. I got you.
Okay, so Alex is going to play the Doctor, and John's going to play Kazuko. Okay, that works.
Alright, so Kazuko's going to be sitting in the second chair as the navigator sensor person. And he doesn't know anything about it, so he's just going to really sit there.
The Doctor will have checked in to see if anyone knows what that was. I guess you guys, did you relay the information that it was a quantum effect over the comms, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, yeah. That was what I was trying to figure out whether we were all in the same area. But yeah. So over the communicator, you'll hear Longbear saying it's going to be some sort of quantum effect.
All right. Well, then I'll run scans on myself anyway. See if there's anything medical we should be concerned with.
I'm pretty sure that has to deal with the probes that we've encountered before.
What do your scans tell you?
The scans are telling us it's coming from the rift. There's some sort of output of quantum energy coming from the rift.
And what do the medical scans report?
I'm seeing some strange shifts in metabolism. Nothing extreme, but I seem to have something on my toe. That's probably not pertinent though. A skin tag, most likely. No, I think we're good. Let me know if any of you projectile vomit in the next little while. I'll check you then.
Wait, what would be projectile vomiting for?
Everyone reacts differently. I don't know. You struck me as kind of the queasy type.
Dale begins heading around finding a bucket, just to have it on the go. He's now officially a little paranoid, and he'll kind of be mumbling to himself, "Gosh, where's the bucket? Gotta find a bucket. Oh my gosh."
So, did we decide that we're going to head to this mysterious Brokoff station that seems to have the facilities to dock a starship?
Captain, I suggest we head to Brokoff Station. It's not too far away from our current position, and it's relatively neutral. I don't think we'd have to worry about any border disputes of the such.
Good, let's do that. And then I head off to go find my sake because when he mentioned throwing up, I'm like, okay, I need to settle my stomach, and I am, at this point, the whole rigid military discipline duty first thing has kind of cracked because I've just been like, alien doom, and then nanite doom, and like, just stress after stress after stress, so I'm pretty much like, whatever, I need to unwind now.
Some of you might know that Brokoff Station is rumored to be some sort of a religious retreat.
Night.
I wonder what religion among the Mavericks is like.
Probably there's pretty much everything you can think of represented, because that's kind of what every society is.
Well,
but
with the
monastery thing, then that's not really a good place to have shore leave, because if you're not part of their little religious group, there's really nothing for you to do.
You're not really sure exactly what religion or what it's like. I mean, this is a out-of-the-way place. You've probably never been here before.
Yeah, and I probably wouldn't have even heard of that rumor, so the Mavericks would be more likely to know that.
With your Grab 5 drives, you'll think you'll be there in about 20 minutes.
Wow. We need to attach these drives to our ship.
Yes, you're awesome.
This is our ship.
Oh, that's right. on one of our shuttle ships.
We have a fleet now.
Everything looks good in the engine room. I'm going to be in the crew quarters, if you'll need me.
Captains, I was wondering if you would like to investigate the alien vessel that we have with us. I'm not sure if there's any potential for discovery there.
Yes, but not now. Just continue drinking.
Perhaps it's just my curious nature.
Or the fact that you don't have mental stress to deal with.
No, I am quite relaxed.
Yeah. And then I sort of mentally facepalm because I realize that will trigger a stupid classical music thing.
She doesn't play classical music this time.
Good. Too drunk to deal with that right now. It's like, I guess his character is kind of changing again because he's just been very stressed. Like, before it was either I'm in crisis mode and I'm acting very professional because of that, like as a defense mechanism or falling back on training, or I'm calm and therefore thinking clearly and thinking very tactically. And now it's like the immediate stress is gone, but I'm damaged enough that I can being far more acting far more like a maverick than you'd expect.
Okay. You'll look in your sensors. You'll see that the alien vessels are being left in the dust. It seems that this ship is a lot faster than they are, which is good.
All right. Kazuko stands up now that he feels that we're somewhat out of danger. And he says, Pon, I need your assistance.
What would you like help with?
We're going to go down and try to collect all the corpses and place them into one of the airlocks. I'm going to get all their names and their ranks and all that, so their names can be written down. And then I can deal with whatever religious backgrounds they had.
Sure, I'll be able to assist with that.
Thank
Although
you.
my hands, you can use my arms more than my hands. If you put them in my arms, I can carry them, but you see what I have to work with here.
That's fine. Just having your extra strength to help carry the bodies will be...
I will assist you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that strange trailing effect is still going on.
Theo walks into the crew quarters where all the dead bodies are. Before him, the carnage lay strewn about. He stands there in the doorway in a silent pose, his fists clenched as he slightly moves about the room with the various colors trailing behind him. He also sees the various colored trails of the individuals strewn about. As he moves, they leave a trail along with his vision. It leaves him rather silent and grimace. He holds a sort of like a handkerchief over top of his mouth to mask the somewhat building smell.
How about everybody else? What's everybody else doing?
At the moment, Longbeer is locked at the piloting station, since you can't really do anything else. And this is really a job for 3 people, but yeah. So he'll sit there and just continue to make sure the ship's flying okay, and monitoring the energies that are coming off the rift.
One thing that starts to come up in the sensors that seems kind of strange to Longbeer especially is there appears to be a NoBot in orbit, or just basically being it's in close proximity to the space station, but it doesn't seem to have any power. And just to refresh your memory, the NoBots are these large, like Pacific Rim-esque, robots that fight for Ganjin.
The Imperial Guard style.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they're elite, or are they small? Like, you said Pacific Rim, so they're like...
They're big, yeah. They're very big, yeah.
Are they that big?
Are they big?
I assume so, but maybe they aren't.
I know they're large anyways, but wow, that's pretty awesome.
We'll say half Pacific Rim. How about that?
Hell yeah. There we go.
That's still pretty awesome.
It's still pretty big, yeah.
And it's just floating there, not active.
Yeah, it's not active. You'll also see some smaller vessels, and as you get closer, you'll see like there's people crawling all over it.
All right. Well, I'm going to reduce the speed of the ship, slow it down slightly, and then hit the communicator. Theo, Captain, there is a large NoBot with a bunch of people on it. If you want to check it out as we are passing by, it'll be going by on our port side.
Okay, I kind of try to look out, but
You can probably pull it up on the monitors.
yeah.
Are we sure that it's powered down?
It's radiating no power from what I can tell. But I'll be honest, Theo, I am not the best with the sensors. This is usually Bryce's job.
I would advise not going near that thing. At least not at the moment.
You'll get a blip on the dashboard that's some sort of hail.
Captain, we are being hailed.
Yes, well, that's Kazuko's job.
Longveil clicks the button. He's like, "This is the Ageless. What can I do for you?"
Unknown Gondol vessel. What is your purpose here?
We're not actually a Gungeon vessel. We are a neutral party. We're just passing by.
Neutral. What exactly does that mean?
It means that we have no business with you, and you have no business with us.
Are you coming into this area to visit the station?
Yes, we are actually looking to dock and to do some repairs.
It's probably pretty easy to figure out that as you get closer, the vessels that are repairing the NoBots seem to be cogs.
Oh, they're cogs? Wow.
Yeah, it seems like they're cogs.
Yeah, may I ask who I'm speaking with?
This is Faceplate.
Oh, Faceplate, this is Longveer. We're looking for a bunch of repairs on multiple ships. The primary ship that we're flying now, as well as one of the secondary ships under the hull, which you can probably tell through your sensors. Is your area capable of dealing with this type of damage?
Well, if you dock at the station, I'm sure we could work out some arrangements if you are truly a neutral party. Who am I talking to?
This is Lieutenant Longveer.
By the way, what is Kazuko doing? Because when I said that was his job, like that literally is his job. That's what he is captain of.
Yeah, I think Kazuko is grabbing all the bodies and moving the bodies, and I think he's really not paying attention.
Like when he hears, "Oh, we have a hail," and like, seriously, this is his job. I would think, like, okay, I can wait. The bodies can wait until this thing is dealt with. Maybe not, because who knows how he's dealing with mental stuff.
I don't think Kazuko is thinking that way. And then he's only been partly, like, this is a new job, quote, job position for him. I think he still just assumed you're the captain and asked him to do something. God bless you.
There's the whole thing with, like, I've been specifically forbidden from dealing with this stuff, so I'm like, sure. Not dealing with it.
Right now Longveer's taking care of business. The voice on the other end says, Longveer, why does that ring a bell?
Fairly common name.
There's something about that name. It's sort of, I don't know. Maybe it'll come to me later. All right, just make sure you don't turn on those plasma cannons and do anything rash. If things go well, I'm sure we can work something out. Sounds like you have a lot of repairs. My sensors are picking up some strange readings, however, on one of your vessels. What is that?
To be honest, I'm not completely sure. We think it's just a minor quantum displacement. We're actually trying to investigate it, but we need to place the dock, and while we're getting the repairs, we'll figure out what it is. Seems to be non-damaging, and it's not affecting our crew in any way. So.
Well, okay, that's interesting, but no, what I meant was that one ship that's down there looks like it's wedged in the side of that other vessel. What's that all about?
Oh, yeah. Some sort of pirate ship, a new type of ship that attacked us.
Some sort of new prototype, I guess, huh? Well, that'll be interesting to look at.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll want to get schematics of the whole thing. You know, maybe there can be a deal made. Trade that for some repairs and stuff.
I'm open to suggestions.
Is there anything in particular that you're looking for repairs? I mean, for trade? Or are you dealing in just standard credits? I don't even know what they use for money, to be honest.
Well, if you have something that could trade with, that would be good. Technology is always good. Extra parts. But yeah, if you just head on in, just tell them Faceplate sent you, and you should have no problem. The security details won't affect your ship in any way.
Will do. Hey, thank you, Faceplate.
Hopefully I'll be talking with you again. We're busy at the moment, but we'll see you in a few hours.
All right. Ageless out. And then Longbeard will pull, power up the engines, pushing farther to the starboard to give them way more of a berth, and then kind of go around.
One thing you'll notice about the NoBot is, if you are at all familiar with them, they have this sort of face plate that has a face on it, and that is completely black. So there's no face. There appears like there's no AI program in it or operating at the moment.
Is that similar to what Genu has?
Yeah, it's pretty similar,
like
actually.
Like they superimpose a face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Excellent.
And it actually goes back to the No Theater, where they hold up an image or a mask in front of their face. That's kind of where it comes from. That's where the NoBot name comes from.
Oh, okay.
Just for some background. So you head forward to the station. It seems like it has lots of domes on the asteroid itself, and there's lots of green. It seems like there's lots of vegetation.
Wow, that's an unusual sight.
You'll see a good amount of farms. Looks like there's small wooded areas that have been planted. Trees probably about 6 feet or 8 feet tall. Still fairly young.
So, is there some sort of artificial atmosphere, or do they have a dome over it?
It looks like there's small domes with artificial atmospheres inside. So, yes.
Long-haired crew, you may want to take a peek outside. And as you can see, the station is up on our starboard side now. We're going to be docking in about 5 minutes. You may want to get your luggage and put your seats in the upright position. And please fasten your seatbelts.
The captain sends a weird text sort of message across the dashboard in front of Longbeard saying that he doesn't want to be disturbed. He's going to get some rest. This is Captain Ying.
Oh, Captain Ying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I send back an okay with a smiley face and a thumbs up.
So it doesn't take very long. You can still see the NoBot sort of floating out there being repaired by the various cog repairmen.
I tapped the communicator and tell Theo, this is actually a grouping of cogs. Did you know that?
What? Oh, sorry. I was kind of spaced out. Cogs, you say? He gets to the window, port side, and looks out, seeing all the cogs out there. His eyes slightly light up. Hey, you didn't meet anybody up there, did you? Did you get any names of them?
No, I met with a faceplate. He was the one who let us go through.
Faceplate? That name sounds very... Son of a bitch! He immediately just hangs up and he just starts marching.
Why does everyone do that to me?
This is the docking coordinator. Are you looking to land? Looking to dock with us?
This is the Ageless. We're looking to dock. We're actually going to need a secondary berth for a smaller vessel that's under tow underneath our ship.
Well, they're mostly all empty at this point, so there won't be a problem. You do mean to be peaceful in this docking, it seems. The power systems are powered down, which is a good sign. Your weapon systems.
Yeah, we're really here for just repairs.
Repairs? Oh,
yes.
Then you'll be wanting to talk to the cogs then.
Yes, please.
They're out working right now, but they should be back momentarily.
Yeah. Faceplate had told us to just go right up, basically.
Oh.
Said we wouldn't have a problem.
Okay, good. We'll lower the defense system then.
Thank you.
Welcome. I hope that your stay here is pleasant and that you respect our ways.
I'm sure. If you maybe could send us a quick data link of whatever your specific rules are for your station, that'd be really helpful.
We have a strict policy of nonviolence.
That's easily adhered to.
And we are fairly insular in our ways, but we tolerate visitors.
Excellent.
Station subsection 4. You'll see the lights coming into. Oh yeah, the lights are on now. That's where you'll dock, and the one right beside it is available as well. Whenever you're ready. You'll need to slow down to 0.5 though.
All right. Longbeard drops speeds down to 0.45, slightly under, and then begins to move the ship gingerly into position. First over the secondary docking bay where he asks Theo, the communicator, Theo, I'm going to need you to release those manual docking clamps on our vessel.
Just as you say that, the door opens. Where is he? Where is he?
Theo, who? I don't know.
Faceplate.
He's out by the NoBot thing.
Figures. That crazy bastard.
You want to, can you release the lower ship for us?
Yeah, hold on. He sits in the chair and begins typing away. Yeah. That should do it.
All right. Once it's in position, we'll move the the larger ship off and then dock that in the other position. The damage doesn't look as bad from this side.
Longbeard, this is Pawn. The bodies have been loaded into the docks, the airlocks. Although I don't think it's such a good idea to release them so close to the space station.
No, I just wanted them all together. Kazuko, did you get all the things you need for your religious rites with them? Then Kazuko, you can hear him come on. I'm still in the process of writing down and keeping track of everyone's names. Luckily, most of them still have their name tags, but there are so many body parts that it's rather hard to tell how many people there really are. But I have most of them, and I'll run that with a crew complement listing that I found online.
Okay.
And with that, Longbeard says, good, keep at it.
You'll feel a ship-wide sort of lurch as you guys come into to dock. Seems like you are firmly attached without any problems. It's nice that this larger ship had an automated docking sequence.
Yeah, thank God.
That phase effect starts to slowly fade. After about 5 minutes, it completely disperses.
At least you don't have to worry about projectile vomiting. Alright, where's that space plate? Where is he? Are you in contact with him?
You could probably use the communicators to contact him. I think he was out by the NoBot. Just send a tight stream to him.
I'll send a tight stream to him. Faceplate.
This is Faceplate. Who am I talking to?
Theo. I'll open up a visual communications, he's leaning in close to it, his silver arm showing as his other arm is leaned forward in his very juxtaposed position, staring right at the camera. Long time no see.
How's it doing, bastard, huh? How you doing, huh? You feel good? You feel good? You remember? That was fun, huh? What the hell are you doing out here?
Well, you know that job posting they had up there? Yeah, the one that no one wanted to take for a while.
You stupid bastard. You took it, didn't you?
Well, I mean, of course. What was I gonna do?
Always reckless.
I think you're the reckless one in this one. You don't learn from your mistakes the first time. Why are you messing around with this NoBot? You know what happened last time.
Yeah, but I got more experience under my belt. You know, we found some fuel for this thing. I think we're going to be able to operate it. The last time we didn't have any fuel.
The last time it didn't need any fuel. It came back on.
Yeah, that was kind of rough, huh?
Rough? We lost 5 people out there.
Yeah,
and
sometimes you got to break some eggs, you know?
At least tell me you're making some precautions this time.
Yeah, we have a few more precautions than last time. A few. Come on, don't you want to see this thing up and active? You know how much damage we could do with one of these things if it was under our control?
I already know how much damage it can do from first-hand experience.
Well, yeah, but we'd be pointing the guns in the opposite direction, not at us this time.
I don't think those guns will be pointing at any other direction other than us. Did you make sure that the AI is intact or wiped?
Yeah, we did that kind of stuff.
I don't trust it.
Mostly.
Mostly? What do you mean mostly?
It should be fine.
Should be fine doesn't suffice. There's always the danger that it can rejuvenate itself. Its program is sophisticated.
You always worry too much.
I worry for a good reason.
I got good boys working on this, and a few sisters. It'll be all right. We'll be fine. I got men crawling all over this thing.
That's what I'm afraid of. What happens if it activates itself?
And then it'll get messy, but it'll be okay. Don't worry about it. Why don't you just enjoy hanging out with the farmers for a while? Everything will be fine. Just relax, kick your feet up, drink.
Drink? Do they have any bars?
Oh, yeah, they got plenty of bars in there. They got all kinds of fermenting systems and stuff. I mean, they don't really partake too much, but they let outsiders do.
Oh. Well, I guess in that case, I guess I could use a few drinks. Yeah,
they're just they're simple, down-home kind of folk. That's all. They just, they kind of worry about us outsiders being around, but, they're good people.
Why don't you just stop messing around with the NoBot? I know that you want it badly, but come on. Just... Don't you have any drones that you can use on it instead?
I mean, we're using what we have, but you know how things are. You got to do what you got to do sometimes, and we're almost done. I'm telling you, it'll be perfect. Don't worry about it.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll trust you this time. I don't know why, but I'll do it.
Well, I appreciate it. And, this time hopefully you don't get shot.
You know, that bullet wound is still there on my leg.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that.
Sorry doesn't cover it. You don't just say, oh, I'm sorry, you've got plasma burns all down your leg. No, that doesn't work that way.
I'm really sorry? You're fine. Stop being a baby. Go hang out with the farmers. You'll be all right.
Theo out. He'll rest his palm up against his face.
So, a friend of yours too?
Yeah. We few years ago, we came across a battlefield. It was between a skirmish between Ganjin and Earther. We did our usual thing. We go to the battlefields, scrap what we can, and then head out of there before the opposing sides could collect their rewards, per se. We happened across a rare find of a NoBot. They go for a high price in the Maverick market, though very few people ever manage to bring one back intact, and at least in one piece. I was a little skittish at first, but we were very confident in ourselves back then. So we went to it, right? So we started repairing it, and it seemed to be in excellent condition, and that was the problem. It was in excellent condition. Just when we thought we had wiped out the AI programming inside of it, it kicked back on. Not only that, but all the errors that we had put into it to try to get rid of it repaired itself. Not only did it repair itself, it came online and immediately started attacking. We lost 5 people that day. A lot of our good friends were there.
That's pretty traumatic. Losing 5 people. I'm surprised it wasn't more. You guys were probably really lucky to get away.
It's a lot more common than you think. We're often out there scavenging many types of vessels, and the danger is always there, but with the NoBots, the danger is almost explicit. A lot of people won't even take scavenging jobs like that. They'll often just ignore it, though greed can sometimes change a man's mind.
Theo, what did they do with the AI program that was on board? Do you think they killed it?
What, do you mean the one that we were messing with years ago?
No, more the one that's out there. It looks so empty, bereft of purpose.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's still dormant. From what little I was able to observe of their complications inside the machine itself, it's a very sophisticated software. I would almost imagine, and dare I say hypothesize, that it's somewhat similar to what Socho is. Of course, then again, no one's really been able to observe the matrix of Socho's programming. If you would, that would be a gold mine in and of itself. However, I can only imagine that it's a similar mapping, and if it's that way, it's going to be highly complex. And I'm pretty sure that the Ganjins aren't going to just put out their best machines and not have them have any regenerative or redundant systems. I found at least 10 backed up alone, and I'm pretty sure there's more than that. It's so complex. I spent hours just trying to decode just the first series, and that still wasn't even enough. I'll give them this. They know how to build their killing machines. But you'll never catch me near one of those things again. I don't trust it. It's too much of a risk.
Sounds like that's understandable. I think we're going to take a little break from this scene, and we'll head over to Alex, who's in a coma, and he's dreaming, and he's outside of his cage, his Faraday cage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
So what is the dreamscape looking like for Bryce?
Okay. To start, he's sort of getting the vision of the starscape spinning like when he was on the outside of the hull. But then it starts to gradually sort of perspective shift as what once seemed like stars are coming into view as like bits of metal that are moving extremely fast. And so while we were at first seeing these things streak by, it's now like we're following them in his vision. And in the distance, he can see a ship that they're flying towards, and there's sort of a ripple as they meet it. But then it's as though he's moving extraordinarily quickly towards the hull of this thing that they just impacted on. And it's like he's seeing himself shred through the view screen on the command deck. And, well, it's as though he's moving extremely fast. He gets this, the detail as though it's like a freeze frame of everything that's happening. And as his perspective breaches the view panel, he is suddenly able to recognize that this is the bridge of the Greycoat, which is the ship that had been, kind of the main ship that they were on a boarding crew for in the mission to Z-Labs outside Venus.
You'll see that Pawn is there, and she's dressed in standard Maverick gear. She has like a biochemical arm. She has some artificial eyes, and she's sort of looking down at herself like what am I made out of? How is this? Like holding her hands out and turning them and sort of looking down at her leg.
The sort of movement in perspective is kind of inexorable. It's not like Bryce has any control over it, and I'm not sure whether Pawn would even perceive Bryce as Bryce. She might perceive him as something that means Bryce or something that means something very different. But this perspective continues moving through the bridge, and he's aware, of course, of Pawn being there, and that's strange, but he also has this vision of someone looking very concerned at a set of sensors on a computer panel on the wall. And he sees Queen Mab sort of standing like mid-sentence as she's giving orders to someone else on the deck. But it's like they can't move. It's like they don't have time to move, and he's still hurtling towards them.
You'll see the woman looking at the sensors changes into Pawn.
Again, Bryce doesn't have any control, so he can see Pawn from his peripheral, but continues moving, and eventually is so close to like the shoulder of the captain that he can almost feel her, and then gets this sense of all her molecules parting away as he moves through that point, and then through a panel, and further on to a different room in the ship, a lounge area, where people are playing cards.
Bryce, is this dreaming? Strange. You are here, but not.
He begins to... There's a part of him that wants to say yes, and there's a part of him who isn't sure it is. So, if there's any image of him that Pawn can make out, it's like mouthing the beginning of a sentence and just his eyes widening and not being able to finish it. He's seeing a bunch of people he recognizes, but just seems to keep passing from room to room.
You'll see Pawn show up from time to time in the various rooms, and she sort of takes the guise of whatever person was originally sitting there. Maybe you had some aunt or some woman that you saw occasionally, and her face and features would change to that of Pawn's. And she always looks sort of bewildered and looking around like she's unsure of where she is.
And there's a part of Bryce that would very much like to comfort her, but keeps getting pushed forward from scene to scene as though his mind is forcing him to reconstruct each piece of the ship from front to back. What he has most trouble with, though, is once he reaches engineering. And he's trying to visualize Irene in this moment, which is an engineer he knew on the ship, but just can't. It's like there's this weird block. So perhaps Pawn appears as her, but even then, it's he can't seem to reconcile it with the fact that he knows in his gut that all of the ship behind him is starting to open to void.
You'll see the woman's body slowly starts to form into that of a smaller version of a NoBot, and the face on the faceplate is half of Irene and half of Pawn, and they're both sort of screaming in unison.
Suddenly, all his momentum stops, and the engineering space sort of fades away into more Starfield. And it's just this half Pawn, half Irene NoBot thing that is appearing to scream, and he gets this chill of pain, but it's starting to feel a bit more like remorse, like it's more personal to him. It's as though his subconscious is sort of dragging things up to torture him, and he starts hearing the voices of Pips, Blitz, and Rocket. It seems sort of halfway between the conversation that they were having as they, shortly after they saw the main ship blow up from their away vessel, and halfway something completely different. They seem to, know that that what's happening is very specifically impacting Bryce, but at the time they certainly didn't look at it that way. At the time, it's just sort of their panic state, I guess, as they realize what's going on. This isn't as panicked. It's like they're just talking through what they saw in I don't want to say matter of fact because it's also very much colored by their personalities.
It could be matter of fact.
Yeah, no, that's true. And it's as though they're like voices that are coming from this NoBot, which is completely incongruous to the look of NoBot Irene screaming and wincing and staring at him. And there's sort of another incongruity in that, well, there is this sort of pained expression on her. The movements she's making are very graceful. And it's as though they're grounded and the starscape behind them is just the scenery behind the asteroid they're on or something.
The NoBot will start to sort of turn into rose petals, basically from the outer edges of its hands and arms, and just slowly start to just collapse into this fluttering pile of petals.
The petals are floating kind of 0G, and as they spin, occasionally on the back of one of them is a domino that's just spinning in the air. And it's when more than one domino is facing Bryce's perspective, it almost looks like they're forming constellations of their own. And he starts feeling pressure and warmth on his back, and suddenly he has recognition of his body again, and he's raising a rifle to try and shoot them for target practice. But he's still in this weird position where he now is sensing Irene NoBot, like this mix of flesh and metal on his back as though it's guiding his aim. Like he'll feel it brush against his arm. And yet what he's hearing from over his shoulder are the voices of the people who are on this away mission saying things. So he takes his first shot with his rifle on one of them and feels the recoil press him back into this strange mix of metal and flesh. And steady again. By the second shot, it's mixed with a flash of the image of the Earther scientist who was headbutted in the face several times, and just like the gore of that. And
all is in the name of science and discovery. We shall win.
He fires again, and that phrase repeats. But he sees now a face that is sort of speaking it out, that morphs out of the gore of this Earther scientist, and makes him look substantially more like the one that they kidnapped from Z-Labs. Which just makes him angrier and fire again and again. And you see these bits of domino shatter in some cases, and in some cases tear like petals. And they seem to weirdly drift towards him after they do this and start coating the outside of the rifle, and also start clinging to his hands. Like they're sticky.
Damn the consequences.
He, for a moment, starts trying to flick these petals off, and it's like at the end of each of his movements, he's seeing a flash of the face of the scientist they kidnapped, and seeing it flash into the face of the gory sight of the one Earther scientist on the Ageless.
You'll start seeing those the blue mental symbols that you got when you were infiltrating Z Labs, and you'll hear that voice of one of the Z Labs technicians, the one that you captured. What did these mean?
Bryce, at this point, starts screaming at his hand as though his hand now is that technician. And he's saying, "What does this mean? You should know what this means! You should know what happened up there! What that means! What the fuck?"
I think at this point, you almost probably wake up.
Yeah.
So how does the
That
dream
would make
end?
Much more sense. Oh, you want like a sort of a...
Oh, yeah, how does the dream end, or how do you wake up?
finish to it?
Yeah. Or is that the finish?
I think it ends with a whisper in Bryce's ear from one of his former crew members, or no, one of the former. Well, I mean, it seems like it seems physically like it's coming from Irene/NoBot, but it's just a completely incongruent phrase from either Blitz, Pips, or Rocket. And, I mean, if any of you want to chime in and reprise and figure out what that is...
You reprise Pips, so I'll do that. Well, that was a good adventure. As if, fun to die, after all. Always fun to die.
Fun to die.
Just as if he's saying that to, you, when, I don't know how much you would know of this, but, since the last time we saw all of them, they were talking about you, freaking out and your brain locking up. He's basically, talking to you in that state, going "Oh, see, you must have had fun, you died," or something.
So, do you wake up shaking your hand?
He wakes up just with his hand suddenly jolting into the air, and opens his eyes as though they're stuck together with that petal goo, or with that feeling. I guess the doctor says, "Whoa, shit, man, that must have been some dream."
And I would think that I would wake up around the same time, in kind of a freak out state, just because with Bryce being out of his Faraday cage, I think that's going to affect other people, at least other people who are sleeping at the time, so.
Oh, it certainly could. I don't know.
Plus, that's a way of getting me awake again, so I can actually do stuff.
You may have heard some static over the comms while this was happening, and there may have been some disturbances on, computer readings. Just because if subconsciously he connected to the network and started doing things, well, obviously he was connected because Pawn featured into it. Well, there really is no telling as to what effects it could have, and that could be in Tim's court as to deciding.
Okay, I mean, it could also be in your court. What do you think your dreams produced in the ship? It is now docked, so.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what mechanisms would be most evocative. Maybe Well, we don't really have access to the kitchen, so it's not going to be producing, like, pedal goo from the replicator.
Maybe just the lights flicker.
Yeah.
And maybe the red lights come on for the, reserve power.
In engineering, coolant starts leaking. Someone opens. It's like, what? Why is there coolant leaking over?
Something like that. But regardless, Bryce is probably going to, at first instinctively try and stumble over to his quarters, and then remember that there's a big alien ship lodged there. Actually, I guess we're on the Ageless, so he's in a completely different layer.
Yeah.
It's like he's just totally disoriented.
That's a bad one.
So you're walking around like you're on the old ship, and you're like, wait, why is there a door here?
Yeah.
This hallway's a lot longer than I remember it. Things like that.
And I wake up the same way, because I wake up in a strange ship with emergency power on, like hearing screeching of static, going, probably having had terrible nightmares myself about Quay stabbing people in the stomach, and just like, hell. So I decided, screw it, I'm getting up.
All right, so the captain has awoken. The ship is docked. You've been given an invitation to come into the space station whenever you're ready.
All right. Yeah, I get dressed and go. I will not be in Gonjan dress uniform, which is usually when I wear my sword, but and I'll probably have it hidden under something. But I'm definitely not going unarmed, so I will be carrying the sword with me, and then just kind of wander through the ship and figure out where the door to the station is, and then just wander around. I want to encounter people.
And he's like, would everyone please meet in the bridge before we head out?
Oh, okay. And I show up, kind of stumbling in, fatigued, and kind of strung out, fatigued but nervous, so kind of weird combination.
And does everyone else show up?
Yeah, after a few minutes, Colt sort of shows up, steadying Bryce and just saying, well, it looks like you're okay. But let me know if you start, if there are any other neurological symptoms.
You guys will see at the entrance to the, I guess it's sort of like an air dock that your air dock has, attached to. There's a phrase, Si she shish von hadi arwat, and it has a translation, they shrink from hard work, but we do not. And there's just there's an airlock there that's closed. Looks like it's easy. It just looks like it's easy to open whenever you get to it. That's all.
Okay. Kazuko says, we were given a little bit where there's not supposed to be any violence. And even though it's not listed that we shouldn't bring weapons, I think that it might be a good idea to not bring any weapons with us onto the vessel. Onto the station, sorry.
I understand that, but I'm not particularly comfortable wandering into a station full of mavericks and potential thieves without having any sort of weapon.
Chill out, Captain. Just a bunch of religious folks here. Settlers at best.
Okay, then I will go leave the weapon behind. I was kind of hoping, out of character, to have a scene of sword combat, so that's why I was bringing it. But because that is, I've had it against Quay, and I've had the, I get to cut up everyone thing, but I've never really had since I learned my own strength, I haven't really had the, sparring scene or random bar fight scene or whatever where I just get to show off, so I was kind of...
This is the start of the Brokoff massacre.
Oh,
the captain goes ape shit crazy, Starts killing farmers.
I was thinking like somebody is being an ass, and I just like not kill them, but just dance circles around them until they're like, okay, I'm leaving you alone.
Well, Longbeard suggested not bringing weapons, or is that Kazuko? Because I said
it's Kazuko.
He said not to bring weapons.
And it's a good idea, so I'm going to go with it.
I mean, you can do what you want. That's just his suggestion.
Yeah, but I will do that. And anyway, he will. Then I will head out and go try and find a cavern or something.
As you're beginning to leave, a Longbeard hands you a stim, and he says, "If you need to, use this. If you feel like you're going to be in combat."
Okay. I'll just put it that way.
He hands one of those to Kazuko as well, who takes it.
All right.
So, do you have any other plans with who's going to be dealing? Maybe Theo. I mean, once we talk to the cogs, do you want to deal with faceplate? You have of everything in the ship, right? That we can trade.
Theo will be just staring out. His face will look very intense as he stares out the window. He'll almost seem very lost in thought.
Theo.
Yes?
Buddy, what's up, man?
Nothing. What was it that you were saying?
Do you want to deal with the cogs, like with dealing with, you have all listing of all the supplies that we have on all the ships, that you had cataloged earlier. Do you want to deal with them as far as pricing and stuff goes?
He'll wave a casual. He'll wave a casual hand, glance at you. Yeah, I got it.
Are we gonna just wondering, is the alien vessel up for trading? I mean, we can't really fly it. We know nothing about it. Do we really want to keep it?
Knowledge is power, and right now we have the highest bargaining stick around. I think it would be worthwhile to hold on to it.
Anyway,
it would be nice for us to learn about it as much as possible. We can always trade the information that we mutually gain from it. That's just as valuable.
And are we agreed that the cloning is also up for trade, since we've already passed it on anyways? The more people who have it now, it doesn't matter. So we can barter with it as if it's brand new tech.
The schematics, as long as we don't include our own genetic information.
That's fair.
I suggest we just hold on to all of our aces before we start doing anything rash. They don't know we have it, and they don't need to know. Besides, if we can get off with a smooth deal, let's take that instead. No need in giving them the entire stock.
Well, I just wanted to know what was available if something came up. I don't want to be trying to have a discussion in private in front of a bunch of people about what's useful and what isn't.
I'll copy on that, Theo will say, staring intently out the window. His direction is towards the work crews working on the NoBot.
Are we all taking shore leave here? Or is someone staying on one of the vessels, or?
I guess I'll check things out.
Culp chimes in. There are, I see from the vid screens that they seem to have a pretty good variety of plants there. There are some compounds I might be able to make use of that are difficult to synthesize. And we've got a fair number of spare stims that we could probably trade out for them, if that's all right. The mamido-adrenal stims we've still got a number of, and they're Ganjin proprietary, so I bet they'd fetch a high price.
Agreed. And we have copies of those anyways. We'll replicate them.
Bryce says, I'll stay on board if you don't mind. I still need to, well, readjust.
Well, I guess so. He'll walk up and kind of pat you on the back, but I don't think you know what you're missing. You see, that there isn't artificial air. He'll kind of wave his hand slightly. Fresh, oxygenized, organic air. Straight fresh from the plants themselves. It's almost as if we're on Earth again.
Yeah, it's not clean, full of microbes, exactly what the doctor ordered.
Hey, you're speaking for me now. I'm sure it would do him some good, but he's looking a little unsteady on his feet, too. So it's 6 for one, half a dozen of the other. Captain, I'm sure you could boss him around. I'm heading down there. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so do you guys head off? You're leaving Bryce, and everybody else is going?
Yeah.
Longbeard will tug at Bryce one more time, trying to get him to go. Bryce, you gotta go, man. You can't pass this up. I mean, what kind of information could be on there that you don't have, that you need?
Fine, I'll take a walk, but I may head back to the ship earlier than you guys.
That's your choice. That's fine.
But yeah, well, I'll take a look. It's probably good for me. Probably.
All right, so you guys will head down the space between the ships. It's been you guys have to wear your e-suits, of course, but it's all locked up and containerized. It's not too hard to get into the other airlock. When you go into the other airlock, though, instead of being like a clinical white or gray, it has murals painted all over it. There's trees and hills. There's another saying that's on the wall, and it's written in 2 languages. Mersat se ign net verlos, got verlost de sin nicht. One should not abandon one's God. One should not abandon one's own. And the airlock closes behind you and starts to pressurize.
Longbeard kind of looks back at the ship, like with a look that says, like, it's probably the last time I'll ever see that ship again.
And it has been pressurized, and you're able to go in. You will immediately smell, for some of you, the first time, air that has not been cleaned with scrubbers, but has been instead cleaned by vegetation, plant life. There's an earthy smell that is present, the strong smell of dirt, sort of that smell after a storm that's rising up from the ground. It's earthy. There's all these different scents and odors that you're not used to smelling. You don't smell oil or various chemicals, that fake clean smell, of the air scrubbers. You see various green, leafy, deciduous trees lining along sort of hallway, and there's in the building that you're in, there's like these skylights that are letting in all this what appears to be natural light, but obviously it's from artificial lights above, probably on the domes themselves. So it's very, very pleasant. You see that there's one old man. He's dressed very simply. It looks like it's some sort of rough spun clothing. He has a wooden cane. It's been carved into the likeness of a dog's head on top. He seems to have no technology on him at all. In fact, he's not even wearing shoes. But he waits at the end of the hall at the end of the long row of trees on either side.
Out of curiosity, how much wireless network activity is Bryce detecting that will kind of affect his atmosphere?
Bryce detects none.
That would be
pretty strange.
Strangely relieving too for him. It's like a weight off his shoulders.
Sort of like you're unplugging, sort of like an unplugged vacation where you don't log onto the internet for like a week, that sort of thing.
Or it's like time in a quiet room just outside of a party that's been going on for months and you're getting a headache from.
So it almost seems like this clashing of time and culture as the old man starts walking forward. You'll see the bottoms of his feet are dark and black and crusted with dirt, and just stained from apparently not wearing shoes at all, or not very often. And you're wearing all these e-suits of high technology, and you're encased in your own environment. And he sort of walks up and nods and has a smirk on his face, and he waves.
Theo will wave back.
Yeah.
No.
Kazuko steps forward and he kind of pops the air release on his helmet, takes it off, and kind of. Hi, I'm Kazuko. It's good to meet you.
I'm Eamon.
Well met, Eamon.
Welcome to Brokaw Station.
Thank you.
I am here to be your guide, at least for a small time.
Where do you recommend we do while we're here?
I'm not. It sounded like you were here for repairs to your vessels. Do you need a place to stay for a while? My eldest sister has a nice place.
Kazuko looks over his shoulder at the crew we didn't talk about that.
Okay, if nodding very slowly and directly.
I don't want to sleep on the Escalus anymore. I look forward to sleeping in an actual building.
Yes, my sister Alma has a nice place.
That sounds wonderful, Alma. I mean, Alma. I call her Alma.
You are aware that we don't have any of the finer things that you are probably used to in your life.
Yes.
At this point, if there's a bed, I'm pretty set.
So we have some straw beds that we can set up for you. We have some feather pillows. I hope none of you are allergic.
No.
I don't know how we know.
Yeah.
So, the doc just kind of looks around and mumbles, I didn't actually run those scans.
Theo will, take off his helmet and he'll take in a breath and oh.
Is it always 80% oxygen?
Oh, there's a lot of humidity in here.
Oh, yes, that happens with the trees. A lot of it, there's dew in the morning normally. Hopefully that will continue to happen once the trees age.
Yeah. He'll begin rubbing his nose. Yeah, I suppose. He'll have a very melancholy look on his face, a very unexcited, slightly bewildered look.
Well,
he begins to sniffle his nose and rub it.
I'm sure you know, but we live a very simple life here. That is our philosophy, our way of doing things. We grow our own food, but we do trade occasionally. If you would have any need of wood or organic compounds or goods made from organic compounds, we could probably trade for these things. It seems that most of your business will be with the cogs, however. But you're more than welcome to stay here. We have a hospitality policy here. As long as you hurt no one, you are welcome to food and drink and a place to stay.
Kazuko turns to him and, is there something that we could provide for your people that would help, that you might need? We don't like to take things for free.
That is just our way. We are self-sufficient here. Our colony continues to grow year by year. We just recently put up a new dome. We have quite a selection of different vegetables and fruits. We have some hybrid animals that we've been able to grow, very hardy. They're doing quite well. But some of the sampled foods you can have here, you will not taste anywhere else in the solar system.
We are looking forward to it.
Well, please follow me. You might, however, need to be told that many of the people here will not speak to you. It's just our way. Please follow me. And he turns and he's walking on his cane. He seems like he's probably about 65 or 70 years old. But he's, for being that old, he seems to be quite healthy. Seems like he's lived a hard life. Lots of farming. He walks to the end, and there's sort of this archway / doorway there that looks like it has hinges. It's not automatic. It doesn't slide, to the side. He literally pushes them open, and you're out in this giant dome that has a lot of these artificial lights at the very, very top. But there's so many of them that it's on. It just seems, I don't know. It's just very bright. It's just hard to even detect where one light is. It's just there's lots of light just coming down. And you look around and you'll see various buildings that look like they are made out of wood. There are various hay thatch roofs. Everywhere the eye can see, it's organic. Trees. There's flowers in bloom. Lots of fields with various crops growing. And there's this rough path. It's not really even a road, but it has various flat stones that have been placed so that you can walk on them. You'll see wheel ruts in the mud in places. People out farming, planting things, and you see little children farming along with the parents. Seems like everybody works here. Yes, my sister Alma has hosted a few people now and then that come to visit. We don't have very many visitors here. Sometimes converts that try to get away from the wars and their lives upon the ships. And you'll actually see some people that are missing arms or legs, and you can see the scars of cybernetic implants that have been removed. They've been replaced with like a wooden leg or like a carved hand in places. Is there anything that you guys say as you're walking?
Zuko and Longa are both kind of just amazed, Kazuko's amazed, staring at everything, at how wonderful and beautiful it is. Longbeard's looking at it like, that's impossible. There's no way they can get this much wood. He's analyzing it.
I'm kind of looking around dazed because I'm both tired. I've been drinking. I just got woken up from a bad dream. And I'm just kind of plodding along, waiting for somewhere to put my suitcase and then going to go find a bar or something.
You don't see much in the way of, public buildings, businesses.
Yeah, I know out of character that the cogs said there were plenty, but I don't know if, or at least that's how I interpreted it, but in character I don't, so.
At least not in this place that you're at now. It doesn't seem to be that. It seems very rural, but the places are close together, so there's not a lot of unused land. Even the places that have trees, you can tell that they've been planted to harvest. They're orderly and in rows, that sort of thing. Almost like a Christmas tree farm, if you've ever been to one of those. It's kind of what it appears to be. But yes, while you are here, please do not shy away from the food. It is part of our beliefs here to share and share alike, to share of our harvest. Alma, I have some guests for you. Alma seems like she's about maybe 50, maybe late 40s. She has some sunburn, which she thinks kind of strange, but I guess the lights that they use must have a lot of UV in them. Yes. How many of the? I got a few rooms in the back. I can make do. You see a wooden porch. It's a little worse for wear. You might have to watch where you step. Some of the wood is weak in places. She's wearing this apron that looks like she has been made. It has red and white dye in it, but it's not like the synthetic red and white. It's more subdued, more earthy, and not as vivid. Anything I should know about you folk?
No, I don't think so.
Not going to be causing trouble under my roof now, are you?
No.
I'm going to have to come and beat you. And she kind of has a smile on her face.
Not under your roof. Make sure I'll do it elsewhere.
Theo will smile as he rubs the back of his head.
But you boys hungry?
Yes. Right.
I got some roast on. Some taters. Carrots. Got some onions in there, big as your fist.
Roast?
I look completely bemused at all of these names for food. None of them are conscient, but whatever food.
Well, meat. Meat. You
Yes,
boil it in
food.
water for a while.
Food is good. I can accept food.
Alma likes to boil it for about 2 days now. Tastes really good. Nice and soft, falls apart.
Good. I will enjoy that.
Oh, come on in now. No slow pokes around here now. Come on, move in.
Okay.
Yeah, you too, Metal Arm. Come on.
All right. No need to name call, ma'am.
Don't you be touching me with that now. Alma's parts are Alma's parts. You understand now. No touching. And she'll walk in, and you'll see this big wooden table. It has various slats that have been put in, so if you put your elbows on it, they sort of wobble, but stay roughly in place. Along the edges of the table, there's wear marks where people's arms rest. She has some glass cups that looks like they have been glass blown, they're not uniform in shape. There's bubbles in the glass. It seems like you've gone back in time. They have sort of a rough threading on top, as if there's some sort of lid that they might have been used for some other purpose. You're not sure what. But she starts setting out plates, and well, now make you boys, why don't you pass these out, and here you go, get yourself some silverware. And the silverware too it's unlike any you've ever used before. Just very simple. Looks like there must be some forge somewhere that these have been rough forged. So she just sort of puts everything down in a big pile on the table and she heads out to the kitchen, and you smell some wafting smell of this amazingly you smell herbs mixed with meat and cooked vegetables, and I don't know, perhaps your mouth starts watering.
Stomach's grumbling.
Theo will lean over and he'll say, "To think, we're going to have freshly slaughtered animal. This would be a fascinating article in the Iconicist Scientifica."
I'm just thinking I shouldn't have drank on an empty stomach.
You'll hear some people talking upstairs. Sounds like there's maybe 4 or 5 people. You hear a few women's voices. You just hear people walking back and forth. And you look up at the ceiling, and it's a wood slat ceiling. And there's other things you notice, there's no electric plugs or wires or plugins of any sort for any sort of cybernetic recharging or anything. There's just it's very strange.
Can't charge our iPods.
I know.
Theo will lean back in the chair looking up, and he'll just say, "What a complete contradiction."
Indeed.
Bessie! Velma, come on down. You're going to need help serving these boys. Come on. Don't be shy.
Boys.
You'll see some two women come down. They seem like they're in their mid-20s. They are wearing also very humble, conservative dress. They have long dresses down to their ankles, but they are pretty attractive. they'll come down and they sort of like look over at you briefly, but then they keep their eyes down on the floor.
Yeah, I kind of do the same thing where I have the sailor who's been away at sea for a while look, and then I immediately go like mentally slap myself. No, don't be an idiot.
Theo will.
There's that. Well, sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. You go on ahead now.
Oh well, Longbeard knows how hideous he looks anyway, so he just kind of stares at him.
How about Theo?
Theo will take. You get the idea that if anyone's looking at him, you get the idea that he's kind of done this before. He'll take glances and have a very promiscuous look on his face as he does so. A bit of a cat smile kind of graces his face as he sits upright, almost adjusting himself quite a bit.
You can see some of the family resemblance in their facial features to Alma. You're guessing that these are perhaps grandchildren or... yeah, that's probably what you guess. They're blonde, the same as Alma is. Alma will come out. She has just a big pile of what looks like, well, I don't know if you've ever eaten corn, but that's what she has on a plate. Corn on the cob. They're probably about 2 feet long. Very robust. Each kernel is big, and she sits it on the table. Now, don't be forgetting that butter there. Butter on the table and salt. Make sure you put some of that on there. I know you boys usually eat stuff out of a tube. You chew that. You don't eat the insides. One fella ate the whole thing. Bessie, don't be shy. Pass that out. Pour some drinks. You boys like beer, or you want something else to drink? Got some sweet tea back there.
No, the beer sounds wonderful.
Yes.
I'll take the sweet tea.
What's beer?
And my boy Frank brewed up with them hops out there.
Hops.
You can't help but notice that the Bessie and what the hell did I say? Velma? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was Velma.
Velma. They both smell like flowers. They just have this some sort of scent on them. Perfume that's sort of intoxicating.
Of course they do.
And they sort of like lean over and pour your drinks for you, and every once in a while they'll look into your eyes and they almost look ashamed when they do. One of them stares at Longbeard for a while. Even as she's pouring other people's drinks, she just looks up and just kind of like looks at him, and she almost spills a few times, and then she sort of sorry.
He stares back with a lopsided grin.
Yeah. You two are doing the lecherous thing. I'm kind of doing the, because I have the lechery, obviously, because I've been in space for forever, but it comes out more with this in, oh, you're so sweet kind of, because I'm trying to suppress the outright lechery, so I just, will accidentally brush their hand as they're pouring something, or will, if I catch them looking at me and looking ashamed, we'll just kind of smile, not in a lecherous way, like you are, just oh, that's cute.
Alma will come up.
See if that works on any of them, but in character, I don't want it to work because I'm, trying not to get in trouble, but.
You'll see that Alma comes up behind Captain Ying and kind of, slaps him lightly on the back of his head. Now, don't be touching the merchandise. Not unless you're willing to put a ring on her finger now. I don't think you don't seem the type.
Now Logger has a full grin.
I just kind of glance over at Theo when she does that, I'm the one you're slapping.
Well,
you only see a smile that's literally a mile wide.
Yeah, Colt has sort of felt like a kid in the candy shop ever since passing the flowers outside. So he actually looks up at one of the young ladies and says, "Say, are those Domitian irises out there?"
Oh, you seem to know your flowers, gentle sir.
His eyes kind of widen again. Do you tend those? Are those genuine Domitian irises?
Oh yes, we traded for some seeds a while back. She sort of rests her hand on your neck, shoulder area. And do you need anything else to drink?
The beer is lovely.
Oh. It has a bit of an aftertaste, but you'll get used to it.
Yeah, you notice that Bryce is also drinking heavily of his cup of beer. And just seems relaxed in a way you haven't seen him in a long time, if ever.
A lot of the alcoholic drinks you guys probably drink are some sort of synthesized alcohol, or maybe there was some organic compounds in it at some point. But this has a very strong, just smell to it, unrefined, if you could describe it in a way. Very strong taste, but I don't know. It's cold. Goes down smooth. At this point, the potatoes and things will be brought out by the girls. There's also a younger gentleman that comes down the stairs. He looks like he's about 18. Strapping lad. He looks like, his hands are very rough. Seems like he does a lot of hard work. Probably comes in about maybe 240 pounds, 5'8", 5'10". And he comes out into the kitchen and he's grabbing big plates of potatoes and laying them down. Well, now, you boys better eat.
Yeah.
You look hungry. Nothing but that fake food. Eat up while you're here. I bet you boys will be back for Alma's cooking.
We might never.
Bryce is clumsily trying to figure out how to configure the fork, knife, and corn in a way that will, produce optimal yield.
Just give me those. Come here. He reaches over and grabs the fork and the knife, and he cuts off a big hunk of roast and just puts a giant fork in the middle of it, and then flops it down on your plate. Now you use that. You use that in this hand. You get the knife, right? And you see you cut like this, and then you just shove it in your mouth and just chew. It's almost like it's like a mother cutting food up for a kid.
Half of me of this, and the other half of me is I don't understand this either. I realize he has a point. I don't get it.
And there's some ketchup there. Fresh tomatoes we made up yesterday.
Ketchup?
Yeah, it's got some strong vinegar in it, but it ain't bad. It probably needs a little bit more sugar. A little bit more salt, maybe. But there's salt on the table if you want it.
Thea will, in a very chaotic fashion, just pile food on top of itself without any regards as to proper space for each food, and after piling it on, you'll just begin taking the fork and stabbing bits and begin chewing and eating.
Alma will come up behind Theo and sort of rest her arms or rest her hands on his shoulders and sort of not like a deep massage, but just sort of just kind of tapping his back. Now, boy, who taught you to eat? You look like you're eating at a pig slough. Yeah. I'm surprised your face ain't down in it.
I don't understand.
See, hold it like this, and she just grabs your hand and you hold. No, not like that. Not like you're holding a knife and stabbing somebody. No, like this. No, and she shows you the correct way to hold the fork.
Yeah. And I'm actually feeling very weird because I know, Belgian would be very proper about eating, just like Asian people are, but we know how to do chopsticks, not knives and forks. So I'm what? How do I do this?
Yeah, Colt isn't having any problem with knife and fork.
So Bessie will take a seat and she'll start eating, and so will Velma. And they sort of keep their eyes on their plate, and every once in a while they kind of laugh at something that's said that seems kind of funny to them. Something that you don't think is funny at all, but.
And I will continue drinking, and then at a certain point, I have been drinking fairly heavily too, because this is my time to get drunk. But I will eventually ask if you have a cherry orchard. I would be like to see it afterwards.
Oh, cherries. Not in this dome, but I think Malthus. Yeah, Malthus. He's got some cherry trees. Yeah, we could go look at that something. We haven't been over there for a couple of years.
Oh, good. I will. I've always wanted to see real cherry trees.
I'm sure they're taller than the last time I saw them.
Okay.
But yeah, you eat up. There's more beer back there. Harvey, don't be shy. If the boys want more beer, you go get it. I know you like to drink it. Don't be shy. Don't be holding back on them. Okay.
No,
I don't want these boys saying, "Oh, Alma's a stingy old lady."
no, I'm seriously, I was half drunk when I got here. I need to pace myself, but
And she'll sit down and she'll start eating some corn. She's missing a few teeth. So what she does is she puts the corn cob down and she sort of cuts off the side of it with a knife, and then she'll just scoop it up with a spoon.
okay.
Is there anything that you guys discuss when you're at the table, or just sort of just eat?
Well, while Theo was chewing some of his food, he goes, when was this colony founded?
I think about 10 years back. So, yeah, all the trees are about 10 years old now. At least the ones that were planted about that time.
Where were you all before that?
Oh, around. Some of us as Earthers, some of us as converts, Mavericks, and the like.
I noticed the murals on the wall. What religion do you practice?
We's Christian folk.
Ah, fascinating.
Yeah, there ain't much of us now anymore, but yeah.
Is that the same for all the other domes?
Oh, yeah, we're all pretty much the same. There's some minor differences here and there, but we's all God-fearing folk, that's true.
Yeah.
Boy, I think you got some ketchup on your face there. Yeah, you without the eyebrows. Do you shave them? What is that? Some sort of style? You making a statement or something? The eyebrows is bad. if so, Alma's got some plucking to do.
No, it's something that was given to me by friends.
Oh. Friends. You'll see both girls looking up at you at this point, like, friends?
Yeah, friends sometimes shave your eyebrows and place stuff in your head, to keep you.
I start. I'm not totally giggly, but I am laughing a little harder at stuff like this than I should.
Place stuff in your head? People say we're strange. Oh. That can't be right.
Yeah. There's a lot of strange things going on in the universe right now.
Yeah, I think it's best we just stay here and let all that happen out there. Yeah. But let's talk about more pleasant things.
Actually, tilts his beer to that. I agree. That's a perfect thing.
And at this point, you'll see that Faceplate walks in through the front door. Hey, now, Theo it is. Hey, there you are. Alma's taking care of you, huh? I thought she might. Hey, guess what? The NWOD didn't go crazy and kill us all. Yeah. We're good. We're taking care of business out there. Don't you worry your little pretty little head about it.
You'll see only the most melancholy, flat-faced look as he just stares at him, lightly sipping on the tea, leaning back against the chair, his left arm hanging over the side.
He'll sort of move up to the table and lean in and kiss Bessie on the cheek, and she'll turn like bright red. Now Faceplate. Now Faceplate. You know the house rules. No touching my girls. Yeah, whatever. I just kissed her. I didn't grope her or nothing.
So, did you handle the heuristic matrix algorithms?
Oh, yeah, all that stuff's taken care of. Don't worry. We just plugged one of my boys in, and he's taking the arms is moving and all kinds of things. Yeah, we're fine.
What do you mean plugged one of your boys in?
Oh yeah, we got some hacker out there or some such, and he knows all about it.
Just have one person monitoring it?
Oh no, he's plugged into the whole system himself. He's taking care of everything.
So he's by himself, unsupervised.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess. But I trust him.
Why isn't anybody... Why isn't anybody out there monitoring him? Well, what if something happens? He kind of gets up off the chair at this point. It's like, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, there's still boys taking care of just, parts that are, broken and such, but he's able to control the movements and stuff. He says he just wiggles his fingers around, and, the fingers move, the legs move, all that stuff. Plugged it right into his, visual cortex. It seems to be fine.
Why didn't you take it apart? That's the safest way.
Oh, no, you don't understand. We want that thing as a weapon. And you'll see Alma sort of get this, she'll fold her arms under her breasts and just sort of, kind of tilt her head and look at him.
How did you come across it in the first place?
Well, that was the damnedest thing. Oh, pardon my language, ma'am. But it was just floating. It seemed like something went wrong. Almost like it was abandoned.
You should still take it apart. You can always reassemble it later.
That's a waste of time.
It is not a waste of time. It's the only safe precaution. You have no idea about how complex the matrix system is within it.
I'm telling you. We're going to be a new power in the solar system. And Earthers and Ganjin, no offense to whoever, who was birthed there, whatever. You Reds are fine by me.
Because it's funny. It's like you're trying to be nice. I can be mad at you, but
it's a backhanded compliment.
We'll take your garbage and use it for our own benefits. You know how that works. That's our way. You see that the girls start looking awkward. The one girl still beat red, and she gets up and starts cleaning the plates and things.
Yes, the Mavericks, the waste disposal system of the galaxy. Which is something stupid that nobody would normally say when they're sober, but...
But anyway, don't worry. The NoBot's fine. We gotta work out a deal here. You want some repairs done?
Yeah. But before that, what about the regenerative protocols?
Are you still talking about that NoBot business?
Of course I still am talking about that NoBot business.
Boy, you're going to get gray hairs before your time. It's fine. I'm telling you. He knows what he's talking about. He said something about working on NoBots way back when.
Bryce hiccups and says, so he knows about the Hatamachi countermeasure and...
yeah, I'm sure he knows about all that. I mean, I didn't, but I'm sure he does.
That's good.
The Hatamachi countermeasure? What are you talking about?
Oh, that's...
Yeah, what is that, I guess, now that you're talking about it?
That's where they go, sub-voltage, and you can't really see what they're doing until they hit you with a spike. And
what you're saying they're going to shock my friend's brain? Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm sure he's taking care of it. This guy's done this before, right?
So wait, he's going to... I'll be back. And you'll see Faceplate leave. Meanwhile, the girls and he starts to leave.
Theo will get up and he'll start running. Before he leaves, he'll look back and say, thank you for the food, madam. I'll be heading out now.
Oh, no problem. You boys have a room in the back. I got 4 of them, so some of you will have to bunk up. But there's straw beds and pillows and the like back there. Extra blankets, quilted by yours truly. Don't forget to look at that bunny one I made. That thing's very impressive. I worked on that one for a while. Different bunnies, different styles, and stitches are shaped like bunnies. Or about 30 different types of fabric. But I'm rambling.
Yeah. I go drop the thing. I go drop off my suitcase. Specifically, take the bunny one so that she will like me more because I don't want to get slapped again. And then come back and ask about if you're all done. I would be ready to see the cherry trees now.
Oh, well, sure. I guess we could take a little trip. Does Thea run outside to go talk to Faceplate?
Theo's been he's running that full place.
Okay.
This time.
Faceplate will be about, 10 yards down the path when he hears behind you and he turns around. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
No, you have no idea what you're doing. It's happening all over again. I'm not going to let you this time lead another group to die.
They're not going to die. And even if they do, I got insurance on them. It'll be okay.
You're way too greedy for your own good.
Telling you, if this all works out, a NoBot in Maverick control, do you understand the ramifications of that?
I understand the ramifications.
And the cogs, we'll get a little bit more respect.
You already have enough respect.
Yeah, we're like the one family that does we're like janitors. No one really cares what we do or think. I mean, yeah, they leave us alone, but they don't give us any respect. We're just like the help.
And without us, they'd all fall apart. Isn't that good enough?
It's not. And I tell you why it's not. If Earthers or the damn Ganjan or whoever comes down on us, they're not going to care that we repair crap. They're going to wipe us out, just like they're going to wipe out all these other idiots that have cobbled together into gangs.
Theo's step will kind of slow down a little bit.
Do you realize we're squabbling against each other? We got gangs over here, the hordes over there, all fighting and squabbling and snitching on each other, selling each other out. Do you understand what it would be like to have a unified Maverick presence? We'd scare the shit out of the people on Earth, that's for sure.
It really wouldn't be Maverick then, wouldn't we?
We're too damn independent for our own good.
That independence helps keep us alive. We represent the frontier. That's our freedoms at stake.
The only thing that's keeping us alive is we're hidden in little conclaves all over the place. They don't even know where to find us. We're like rats or cockroaches. Don't you want to be more than a rat? Don't you want to be more than something people step on or blow out of the void of space and don't give a crap about? I do.
I've thought about it myself.
Just telling you, if I could just make this work. I have a human in control, not some AI program. I'm telling you, my friend's good. He used to be some sysnet operative or something. He knows Earther systems. I'm sure he's fine.
Sysnet operative? Where'd you find this guy?
He was half dead in some brothel. And, I don't know, I took him in. Took care of him, and... Yeah. I don't know.
You didn't bother doing a background check? You didn't bother doing anything else? Why is it that you never think ahead?
I mean, he told me that he used to have Earther loyalties, but we're Mavericks. We don't care who the hell people used to be friends with.
Yeah, we also don't take everyone on their word exactly. You know the frontier law.
He hasn't stabbed me in the back yet. I'm sure it's fine.
I already don't trust the situation.
A NoBot in our control. I can't even think of the ramifications of that.
I can think of the ramifications just fine. It'll be given to all the other gangs, and all of a sudden the gangs will now be fighting each other with NoBots.
Well, we just have the one now.
That one isn't going to accomplish everything. They're very powerful, but they're not that powerful.
The only problem that I can't come across is that the damn fuel is so rare. It only comes on Ganymede, this trigenium. It's like some byproduct that the mining operations crank out there. We're going to have to work on that, but we got enough for a while.
Where did you get a hold of enough tritium?
There was enough in there for a little operation, and I acquired some.
Acquired?
Yeah.
Don't yeah me. You have a bad habit of making extra enemies.
No one lived, so there's no one to squawk about it.
Their family and relatives?
Nah, I'm sure those boys don't have very much family.
But a very cold thing to say. They trusted you. They were your friends. They were my friends.
No, not I didn't kill any of ours. Just the people that were on the ships. We're getting into details. I gotta go. I gotta go take care of that weird whatever that your friend said.
Correction. We're going to take care of that.
You're coming with.
There's no way you're not going to go out there without me.
All right, it's like having a wife. All right, why don't you come nag me then? Let's go. Okay. So you guys are heading off to go look at the NoBot. Everyone else is going to see the cherry trees, or are you hanging out with Alma and her girls?
Well, Colt is going to try and convince Velma to let him take a cutting from the Demetian iris. Would you mind?
Oh, you can have a plant. You want a little potter? You just gotta water it and make sure it's got some sunlight. Of course, yeah, we got some UV lamps you could probably take if you want.
That would be wonderful. Extremely generous. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
And what soil composition do you find is...
Oh, well, you got to have your aeration. That's the thing. A lot of people don't think about the aeration, but you got to have a little bit of sand in there. I'll give you a bag.
Yeah, sand. Right. I'll just analyze that in a bit.
You got to have a good mixture. If you have a composter, get some stuff out of there and mix it with some of the stuff that my father talks about.
Right. Composter. Yeah.
Where you throw all the fresh food. The refuse and things. You just throw it over there, like the composter out there. See, fresh clippings and grass, sometimes sticks and such.
Colt. I mean, he stares for a moment, but then he's like, "Yeah, I'll figure it out."
But yeah, let me get you a pot. And she sort of slides over this chair and kind of like climbs up like 3 steps in front of you. And she sort of leans on one leg and reaches up for some pots and.
Colt takes a surreptitious glance.
Here you go.
And smile.
She sort of like pitches the pot down to you. And here's a bag of soil for you, and I'll go get the plant for her.
Thank you.
And she sort of just like rolls up her sleeves and goes out there. And she doesn't use a shovel or a spade or anything. She just uses her hands in the dirt and pulls out an entire plant and just puts it in your hands.
He's just trying to suppress his giddiness to socially acceptable levels.
Now don't forget to water it. And she'll reach up and just
absolutely.
Move some hair out of the dog's face.
Is that water mineralized in any way? I mean, do we add...
No, it's good soil. You should be fine.
Okay.
Now, about 3 months from now, it's going to start to produce little offspring plants. You could plant those too. I'll give you some extra soil.
Yes. Thank you.
You're so formal. And she's like kind of like punches you in the shoulder.
Well, I was taught to be polite about these things.
Oh, you're fine. So Alma starts to get ready to take you guys over. Whoever's going. Yeah, you boys can come or stay, whatever you like. If you stay, don't be looking in Alma's panty drawer.
I just get this disgusted look on my face, like, what the hell? A, that's gross, and B, you're 50.
Longbear stands up. Well, I guess there's no reason to stay there.
But yeah, you boys come this way, and you'll just be passing various houses. There's farms. People are out, just taking care of crops that have been harvested. They're shucking corn or other things like that. You'll see that people look up briefly and then they just sort of pretend like you're not there. There's sort of this like cold isolationism, maybe even like xenophobia to some extent. But nowhere you see, except for the skyline, except for the dome, there's no electricity at all. Seems that there's no appliances. It's all homemade, like things out of wood and metal, and the metal seems like it's rough forged. You don't really see anybody just like laying about relaxing. It seems like it's all lots of work. You'll see various signs on the sides of the buildings of various colors and displays, symbols that you've never seen before. There's lots of triangles and circles and lines. Eventually you'll get to a dock, and it's sort of like an air dock between two ships, except it's a lot longer, where it goes from one dome to another. And you'll see various religious phrases and things like working hard, and it's translated from this whatever language they're speaking to English. Things like you can sleep when you're dead. I don't know. God rewards the hardworking. Things like that.
Yeah.
And eventually you'll get to the other dome. You'll walk in, and this one seems like it has a different focus. It's less farming. It's less homes. It seems like there's more trees. It seems like it's more like forestry oriented. There's more fruit trees and various things like that. And eventually there's a few settlements here or there, but they're fewer and farther between. It seems like in this section the men have more longer beards than the other one. But you'll come to a cherry grove, and there'll be a sort of like a littering of cherry blossom leaves on the ground. Some of them are falling down through the air.
All right. I will go try and find a secluded part of the cherry grove to practice my sword forms. Because that was my hope. Like, I was thinking from a perspective of space people, like, I would have all the ancient Japanese poems about cherry blossoms and practicing sword stuff with cherry blossoms, and I never would have seen any, so that was my immediate thought when I came in, like, oh, I could actually do this in the setting in which my ancestors did, which would be a very profound thing for me.
Yeah, as you're swinging your blade, there's cherry blossoms that are falling, perhaps that you're aiming for some. You probably even sort of it's almost like meditation at some point, I would guess.
I guess that it would be almost a spiritual experience in itself, and the katas already are a meditative thing, so.
You'll see that Alma, you haven't really gone too far away from everyone, but she looks over.
Yeah.
Now that's a sight I haven't seen before. That's beautiful. It seems dangerous and violent, but at the same time, there's a certain grace to it. Do you all do that? And she'll look over to, Longbeer and to, I guess Theo's not there, but the doc.
Bryce will have followed.
And Bryce. Do you all dance with the blade?
Longbeer says that some of us do. It's part of our culture or part of our upbringing. It's a way for us to center ourselves.
I must say, there's a certain attraction I have to that. It's just I could watch that boy do that all day.
Yes.
Kazuko steps forward and he says, there are many other ways that we learn these types of dances, not just with the blade. And he breaks out a kata of his kung fu, showing her like those forms as well.
Oh my, that's interesting. Maybe before you go, you can teach me a few of those things. I think old Alma's going to learn a thing or two about that.
If you are willing, I am always willing to teach.
You'll see that she's badly imitating some of the movements. Like I'm seeing like Tai Chi or something going on, and she's trying to do some of that.
Yeah, he kind of steps close to her and he says, "Do you mind?" as he reaches out to touch her.
Oh no! If I'm doing it wrong, you know.
He corrects her, showing her like some of the simplest of forms. Just a quick one, like with this kind of like a slight low kick arc into a spin to a back fist, and it's just kind of a smooth movement.
You'll see that the girls have now finished up their chores, and they've come up behind, and they're giggling and holding their hands up to their mouth and pointing it to their grandmother.
That's cute.
Kazuko starts like calling them forward. Come here, let's get in line. I'll show you some Tai Chi.
Oh, you're going to teach us too?
I'll teach anyone who wishes to learn.
Oh, all right. It seems harmless enough.
And you see he just breaks out, and he has them mimicking just a basic, slow water type movement of just kind of rocking back and forth. And Very slow, methodical movements, easy to replicate.
You'll see a man comes walking over the hill, and he sort of stops. He's sort of staring down at Captain Ying.
Yeah.
It probably takes you some time to notice. You're probably so wrapped up in the scene, but eventually you'll maybe one last swing. It kind of like crosses the line of sight with this guy.
Yes.
He just sort of has his arms folded. He has like brown rough spun clothes and a beard that's about 3 foot long.
All right. Well, until he bothers me, I'll continue as long as I normally would have. But assuming he shows up at the end, and I would be done anyway, I'd put the sword away and I won't approach him or confront him, but I'll show that, look, I'm not hurting your trees. I'm not trying to kill anyone. It's just a calm thing.
I'm Malthus. I'm the farmer here.
Okay.
Seems that you've made yourself at home. I can't say I've ever seen anything like that before.
Yes.
You have some skill, but can you put that away now?
I do, and I put it back under, because I wouldn't be walking around with an openly sheathed sword, so I'll put it back under my poncho or whatever I was hiding it under.
Yeah, considering we agreed not to take any weapons.
Right. I mean, I was hiding it anyway.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you might not have even noticed anyway. But.
Oh, longer. This is it now, though.
Oh yeah, now you all go, oh, you shouldn't have that, but.
Well, Malthus will start walking down into the cascading cherry tree blossoms that are falling. He sort of like looks you up and down a little bit and reaches out and taps you on the shoulder. All right. Well, you want to look around or?
No, I've seen enough. These are quite beautiful.
Do you want some cherries?
No, I've eaten my fill. I just wanted to see them. My culture has a great tradition of cherry blossoms in poetry and art.
Do you want a sapling?
Oh, yes, that would be, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, we can get you one of those. If you revere them so much. Sure, why not? Just grab a bucket. There's a few over there. Just dig them up.
All right, I do that. I'm very, very much like the doctor was when he had, wow, and I treat them like artifacts with reverence when I dig them up and everything.
No, don't put that much dirt. You're burying it. Lift it up a little bit. Yeah, tuck that. Yeah, like that. There you go. Good job.
Good. And then I will go and quickly after I dug them up, I will go and find the doctor and make sure that I can put them somewhere where with his plants where they won't die.
Now remember,
no idea how to do that.
You got to have good drainage on that. You want to poke some holes on the bottom there. Make sure that water drains through. Put something underneath it, to catch the excess.
Yeah. And then I will get back quickly to our rooms and make sure that wherever I put them, that I get the doctor to check and see that it's an environment that will somehow kill them.
If you question Colt about that, it's I don't actually have any experience caring for something like this, but I know the theory. It should be fine. The atmosphere isn't that different inside a house than outside one. Here.
Yeah, I'm kind of overly nervous because this is an extreme sacred thing and I have no idea how to take care of it. So.
It'll be fine, Captain. He just sort of reassures you.
Yes.
And
Malthus comes down and he sees the women in Alma doing Tai Chi and he starts chuckling. What's this, some strange dance? What is this? It's slow. I've never seen. Well, are you slow dancing? No, I guess you're not slow dancing. Oh, Malthus, they're just teaching me a few steps. That's all. Nothing too out of the ordinary. This young man here, Kazuko, I think his name. You said right? Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. My name's Kazuko.
He's a gentleman and hasn't been touching nothing. All right.
Kind of motions to him. Would you like to? Well, sir.
No. I'm good. It sounds like something some lady folk do.
All folks will do it.
Nah, just it ain't for Malthus. I'll just sit here and watch the pretty things just dance around. That's fine.
Well,
Yeah, they're all delicate and stuff.
Thank you for calling me pretty. I think it could help. Maybe it'll help your posture.
Nah, my back's fine. Just gotta crack it on a tree every once in a while. It's good. He'll sort of he'll do that. He'll back up and just sort of hit his back roughly against a tree and kind of twist it around a few times and crack his neck.
Colt looks at that and kind of winces and is about to offer a suggestion, but thinks better of it.
Quick pull out his tongue.
The girls seem like they're much more relaxed. They're giggling and they seem like they've gotten the hang of it a little bit better than Alma has, and they're sort of laughing at their grandmother, and grandmother sort of slapping their hands away when they're pointing at her. All right, you've had your fun now. Well, you boys ready to go back and get some rest? Anything else you want to do?
Yeah, I actually will, since I'm back at the house now, because I went to deposit my plans, I will go find the boy that was serving us and ask if there's any sort of public district or entertainment district.
Oh, you want to go to...
Everything's just farms.
You want to go hang out with the liberals?
Well, that was kind of the point of shore leave.
Yeah, there's a dome towards on the outskirts. Can't say I've ever been there, but I know where it's at. He sort of looks around, sees like there's nobody around. Tell you what, we'll sneak out later.
Good. I'll go get some rest then until you're ready to leave.
Yeah, Alma sleeps pretty deep, so yeah, midnight I'll wake you up and anybody else who wants to go.
All right. When people start coming back, I'll start taking them aside and mentioning that if you want to go out and have fun, we're leaving at midnight.
Come back to the cherry blossom trees. Kazuko turns. Captain, are you... Captain?
Yeah, the captain took his tree and left.
I talked to him about where I should keep them before I ran off, but everybody else probably doesn't notice.
Oh, I think that, he said captain, he took a tree and he just started walking away. Common odd sort of folk.
Long beer uncrosses his legs, stands up and sighs. Well, I guess we're done here. Begins walking back.
Bryce has just been sitting under one of the trees, kind of letting the petals fall on him, looking at them resting on his hand.
Yeah, it's probably a very strange thing for him that he doesn't have like 15,000 networks he can connect to. You know, it's probably like a little spinning thing in his head that says searching. That's probably what it is.
He's got that hourglass that's turning over. And...
No available networks, you know.
No connections can be found.
So you guys walk back. Everyone seems to be in good mood. Head back to the house, and as soon as you walk in, that smell of the dinner is still there. It's just like strong and heady. Well, you boys know where your bunks are, and well, I think that's all. We're just gonna tell stories and then head off to bed.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you boys can tell stories. I'll get the fireplace going. You can come on in there and rest your laurels. And you'll see that she starts a fire.
Yeah, Longbeer, after getting back and kind of thinks about the time is it getting dark? Like, do they have the lights set up on like a 24-hour day system? Or?
Yeah, it seems that the lights are starting to dim.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to just excuse myself and then, go outside and then start heading back towards the ships. A, looking for Theo, and B, I need to get something off the Tararo, or Tarasu.
Okay, we'll say that, let's see here. You're looking for Theo. Then you know that Theo went to go investigate the NoBot. So I guess we should deal with Theo now. And we'll bring John in after a little bit. So you've headed off with faceplate. You're probably in some shuttle. And, he's in the pilot chair and you're heading out to the NoBot. You'll see it is just out there and it's crawling with various people in E-suits. See, look, it's not blowing the shit out of anything or nothing. It's fine.
Only time will tell that.
See, like you see his fingers moving there? I'm telling you, it's just my friend. It's all plugged into the back of his skull.
He'll say. His arms will just be crossed and he'll just be staring daggers both at him and the NoBot. His E-suit, his E-suit is on. He's already got the helmet on. He's not taking it off either.
Boy, you are paranoid. You don't think that the environmental controls in here are good or what? Do you think I was like drunk when I installed them?
I prepare for the worst.
I'm surprised you don't have just a schlocka, just gray hair just over your eye right there.
Well, if I did, they have dyes for that.
Oh, man. You gotta relax sometimes. It's not all worrying and dying. There's living in between there.
Living is often occupied with dying.
I guess I've seen a few people die.
A few. Count at 5, plus the ones that you killed beforehand.
And a few more.
His stare deepens into a more melancholy look.
You're so morose. Jeez, lighten up. And he kind of slaps you in the back. You want a drink or something? Of course, you'd have to pour it in through some tube. Won't take off your damn helmet.
I don't want a drink. The last thing I need to be is inebriated.
Oh, come on. A little spot of the old juice. He pulls out like a little metal canister and he pops off the cork and takes a swig.
It is completely against protocol to do that.
Protocol? What are you, some Earther establishment guy?
There is protocol to follow even amongst cogs, damn it. You can't be inebriated and work on subsystems at the same time.
Maybe certain cogs. Like ones that, their ass puckers up like a drum. Like this guy beside me. You gotta relax, buddy. Relax. He takes another big drink.
You relax too much.
Yeah, but when I sit down in the toilet, stuff just flows right out of me. I don't have to grunt or nothing. It's good to hang out with you again, but not really.
The feeling is mutual.
All right. We're almost there. We'll put your little old lady worries to rest when we pull up. So you guys will actually kind of, they have like these apparatuses that can dock. They've been attached to the NoBot, in this midsection. All right, I'll suit up. You're more than welcome to do some spacewalking out there and investigate if you want.
And before as he's saying, he's already unlocking the door and.
Oh, hold on now. He'll put on his helmet real quick and. But you're out of the airlock there, and you just see the NoBot. It's just it probably brings back memories of the last time that you worked on one. It has a very regal black and silver and gold sort of motif to it.
Staring at it, Theo kind of floats out there. His fists are clenched, and while it doesn't really show too much to the thick and heavy outer layers of the E-suit, he is somewhat shaking. Remembering the most violent attacks. The most prominent one in his mind is when one of the members was, his name was Dixon, as a matter of fact, was working on the front when its hand was the first thing to start moving, and it clasped him. And as it did, it crushed him right there on the spot. And all Theo could remember seeing is the splurt of red crimson, like little tiny snowflakes dusting forward as his blood boils and freezes at the same time. Various organs and bits of his head even ripping off and deforming into the vacuum of space.
You'll see the hands and fingers are moving and twisting, moving slightly up and down. You'll see that there's no mavericks crawling around the arms or anything, but they seem like they're working furiously on the legs and that section.
Theo will scoot himself up towards the back, connecting himself, and he'll begin removing panels and looking for connection ports.
Yeah, and doesn't take too long. Having had experience with these things before, you pretty much know where to look. Seems like it's designed in roughly the same way. One thing he does notice, though, there seems like there are less security features on this, almost as like it's an older model, an older NoBot.
Did you do any dating on this?
Dating?
Yes.
No, I don't think I did. Why?
It might be important.
Why? You think this thing's old as dirt or what?
This could be a first-generation model.
You think they just... Oh. The only thing I've never been able to figure out is why it was just floating out there. Maybe it had some sort of breakdown, or I don't know.
No. They always have some sort of homing beacon that activates unless it's severely damaged to the point where it couldn't.
The AI wasn't activated at all when we found it. Not even, it didn't register at all. We looked.
It wasn't registering at all the last time either.
Oh, yeah, you make a good point.
I suppose if we could find the Matrix, I'd feel more comfortable if we just disconnected on the spot.
Well, my boy's all plugged in, so, I mean, if you find it, yeah, we haven't found it yet.
What's your boy's name?
We call him Yellow Guard. Don't really know where it came from, but that's what he likes to go by.
Theo will kind of crawl up around towards the upper back section where the head might be and glance down to see Yellow Guard working away. Yellow Guard.
Well, he's actually plugged into like around the head area. You'll see like they've dug into the back of the skull and sort of improvised a human canister, and you'll see some glass, and he's actually plugged in there. Oh, he's not going to be able to hear you.
How am I going to contact him then?
Oh, you'll see him just go up and just knock on the glass, and Yellow Guard will look back. You see that it doesn't have any cybernetics at all. He has sort of a lazy eye on the right side. His eyelid doesn't open up all the way either. He has dark hair. Looks a little greasy. He looks skinny. Looks like he, maybe weighs 90 pounds. Not very tall.
He'll turn back. Well, good grief, where'd you find him?
I told you, it was in a brothel. He was a little bit worse for wear, but, we brought him back to health. He could serve to, have a few more calorie packs shoved down his throat, but he's all right. He's good folk. Good people. Tony, he's supposed to be an Earther spy.
Earther spy?
Yeah, Sysnet. So there was some sort of operative. He just got tired of it. Said he lost too many good people. Yeah, there he is.
Yellow Guard. Yeah, I start pointing to the communications array.
He puts his helmet on, locks it in place, and you'll see the glass canister sort of open, and he'll come out. What's the matter? What do you want?
What kind of progress have you made so far?
You'll see wires are plugged into like the back of his skull and onto his arms. Well, I've plugged myself in, and the contraption seems to move with my movements. It seems to be smooth, and there haven't been any problems yet.
What about the AI data matrix?
They can't say that they've found it. seems to be almost like, that phrase, the ghost in the shell. Well, the ghost is not here anymore. I have filled that vacancy.
What about sub-protocols? Have you run any scans to find them?
Can't say we found any. It's very strange. It's sort of a mystery why this thing was out there. It's almost as if every trace of its being has been removed.
Look.
Do you think that NoBots ever kill themselves?
What?
Just a thought.
Why would they ever do so?
I don't know. There's nothing left here. Almost like it was just completely wiped. It's just a thought that I had.
Look, I'll give it to you that their advanced AI programming is a par above any that I've ever seen, but I don't think there's any feelings going on. It's just an advanced combat protocol under the watchful gaze of their almighty AI, and he'll say that he's being really sarcastic when he says that. Socho.
Well, I haven't found any. It's just me now. It's almost like an extension of my will. He'll reach up the arm and sort of get close to the head where you guys are. See?
Yeah. That's good enough. Let's lower that down, shall we?
Oh, you're intimidating a little bit. I'm not gonna hurt you or anything.
It's not you. It's this that I'm afraid of.
I think the only thing I need to be afraid of is running out of fuel for this thing.
Could you assist me in removing the matrix out of here?
Faceplate. Well, where is it? We haven't been able to find it yet. Where do you think it is? We looked in the last place that the last one was, but it wasn't there.
And that further builds up on my hypothesis that this could be an older generation, possibly even first-generation unit.
Oh, so you're saying the Matrix is in some other place, or did they use Matrices back then? I never worked on I only worked on one. We looked in the
I can only assume that they had advanced Matrix protocols installed.
You don't think it's like in its foot or something weird like that? We didn't look down there.
I think it's best to look everywhere we can, but the extremities might not be a place to start looking. Might be looking in the lower chest area, perhaps. Theo will begin just starting to get in the back and start moving panels and looking down.
So, getting towards the end here, why don't you, what do you think you find? Let's say that what do you find?
Theo digs around. He starts moving around various cords, various chips put in, but it's all built in to be tough and to be rugged. And as he moves through what seems like a jungle of wires, almost resembling veins and such, he comes across a round sphere of sorts. It almost has a polyhedron shape to it.
Okay, we'll stop you right there. This is when Longveer shows up in his E-suit, and he's been pointed in this direction by Faceplate. So Longveer's on the scene at this point.
Hey, Theo, what's going on?
What? Oh. What are you doing out here?
I was coming out to look for you. Seemed more interested in what was going on in the backwater planet over there. Plus, you really had me worried about this NoBot.
We should all be worried about this NoBot. I think I just found what might be the Matrix. It's a pretty good size. It's got all kinds of wiring connected to it. And it looks like there's one not connected. I can barely see it, though. Light's not able to reach it.
Can you yank it out of there?
No, the space is too small. We'll have to make a larger cavity in order to get it out. But it'll take some time without damaging the more poignant systems. I don't think that's too much of a big deal.
You'll see a small circular plate in the center of it. A small face appears, like a small monitor. And it seems like it's looking at you.
I move my hand from side to side in front of it.
It'll follow your hand.
Theo, maybe I should communicate with it?
What?
If that's an AI, a Gungeon AI?
It's activated. No. If you want to, go ahead, but I might activate it any second now. Faceplate, get all your men away from here now.
Oh, what are you worried about now?
The face has appeared on it. The AI is still in there.
Well, cut it. Cut it out.
There are too many circuits around it. I can't even get around there. It's too squeezed in.
Well, then destroy it.
Longbear steps into view and says, AI status.
Attention, men. Evacuate. Evacuate. You'll see that the AI stops looking at Theo and just looks over in your direction. And there's no communication. You'll see some static across the monitor. You'll see that the face has this sort of sad complexion to it. But it's like a fake sad, almost like a machine trying to
want you
act
to
sad.
NoBot units. State your status.
There's just more static. You'll see this this white hand that sort of appears on the monitor, almost as if it's reaching out, and then it just closes into like a fist. And then you just see the face again.
AI switch to text-based communication. Loudgear looks at Theo and shrugs. Oh.
I don't like the looks of it.
You'll see a word that appears. It says entropy.
Entropy. Oh, okay.
That could be a code of sorts. Entropy. Pawn, are you with us?
Yes, Theo. I'm here.
I'm setting up a visual coordination net. Go ahead and observe what I'm looking at. What do you make of it?
Oh. Is that what resides within the empty shell?
Yes.
Strange. It seems perfectly capable of operating the system, from what I can tell. Almost everything is connected.
Theo's face will pale.
Why isn't it operating?
I don't know.
There's just that one main line that's disconnected. That shouldn't be hard to reroute around.
Yeah, I'm not going to reroute that. We're going to keep that just as it is.
It could be possible that that's the reason, but Theo, I think that NoBot is perfectly capable of killing you all.
Really?
It seems like it is hiding in that matrix for some reason. Maybe to give you a false sense of security.
This could be a trap. Faceplate, get your men away from here at once.
Men are almost evacuated. Can't you just shoot it?
We have no idea how these systems work. It could be directly connected to a self-destruct mechanism.
Theo, can you guess? Can you tell what kind of power system it's using? What's powering the Matrix?
From what we gathered, they had backup redundant power sources. I can only theorize that it was there for the backup systems for the matrices. A smart idea. You don't want your main computer going offline while it's still in battle. I would only hazard a guess as to where it might be located, but I don't know the minds of these engineers too much. He began reaching inside. Got to figure out a way to shut it off calmly without alerting any main systems.
You'll see another word that appears. Disambiguation.
What does that mean? It must be more code.
And while the boys are working on the NoBot, who should we check in with next? I guess everyone else is pretty much back on the station. So there was a short period of time where there was various stories were told. Some of them were quite entertaining. There was one that Bessie told. There was some sort of like comedy. There were animal figures and sort of like just a sort of like play. Alma and Bessie told another one that was 2 parts, sort of like co-GM'd. It was some sort of like history of 5 generations of family and some of the stories and hardships that they had faced. There was one story about a ship and all the crew dying, people starving, and there was other things that were victories, battles, and various wars. And after that was told, it was they snuffed out some candles. They said a quick prayer and blessing on the house and those that dwelt within, and then it was nighttime. It was bedtime, and they all sort of moved off to their various locations. So midnight comes around, and the captain gets a sort of brusque push on his shoulder, and hey, they're all asleep. Is it just you coming, or is there everybody else coming? And that's to Captain Yang. If Malakov's still here? He's not. So the boy will sort of move around and tap Bryce's shoulder.
He wakes up with a bit of a start and says, yes?
Are you heading out too for the pleasure district, the area over there?
You have a pleasure district?
Well,
I'm not judging. I'm just surprised.
It's just, it's that one family. They're a little out there on the outskirts. Your captain won't wake up for some reason. He's sound asleep. Well, anyway, anybody who wants to come, I'm leaving. So if you're coming with me, you're coming with me now. Otherwise, you're going to sleep the night away. I'll move over to Longbeard and tap his shoulder.
Yeah, and I would have been asking them, taking them aside during the night, during various points, whenever I could get them away, whenever it would have been appropriate, and offering them, like, if you want to come, you can be awake. We're going at midnight, so I would know who was coming and who wasn't.
Yep, so he gathers up everybody that's going, and you guys head out underneath the non-illuminated dome. So that's probably a good place to break. So next time you guys will head out to the dome that probably has a few bars and dance halls and things.
And the only reason I wanted to go there is ever since we decided to do shore leave, I was hoping my brother could show up during, and I figured the best place to find him is in a bar, so.
Oh yeah, and I guess I tapped Longbeard's shoulder and he's out space. I do that kind of mix up.
I just assumed you meant Kazuko.
Yeah, it's probably Kazuko, yeah.
Yeah, Kazuko would go. Why not?
All right, so real quick, we'll back out to space. Is there any final thing that Longbeard and Theo do out there? The disambiguation was the last word that was across the screen.
I Theo will begin to get out a pad, and he'll begin to connect it to the matrix. And try to establish some contact and start typing in, and he'll type in the word Y.
The words and the letters, the word Y, the letters of it, will start to slowly, like it's like white text on black, and like it's almost like, it's not pixels, but kind of like pixels. Slowly it'll just start to just blacken out the letter until it's just black. Pointless.
What is pointless? I'll type that in and send it.
What is gets erased, and so does the question mark. But pointless remains.
I will then type in explain.
Refuse is the next word that appears.
Question mark. Explain. Elaborate.
All those letters get wiped away, and exclamation mark, it replaces them. You'll see some of the systems are, some of the wires seem like there's electricity crackling down them now.
Longveer.
Yeah.
I'm going to connect it.
Oh. Didn't we say that was bad?
Yeah. But I think there might
be a communication problem.
It might have a huge communication problem. That's why I think it'd be best if everyone just evacuate. But I don't think it's going to be too much of a big deal. I am in direct contact with it, and if it does try anything funny, I can at least destroy it from here.
Well, why don't you let me connect it then? And that way my hand is in there.
The next word you see is slaughter.
See, dude? This can't be.
All right, scratch that. We're not even going to attempt this. Oh, jeez. On.
Yes, Theo.
I'm going to try to connect you into a safe port. He'll go back to the shuttle.
Wait a minute. Are you going to place me inside the NoBot?
I'm going to create a room for you where you and the NoBot can meet. It'll be a safe area. You won't be able to get inside you, and you won't be able to get inside it.
Are you sure, are you sure, Theo? That sounds dangerous.
You all have a similar matrix, or so I'm thinking to believe. You might be able to best communicate with it and extrapolate more information out of it than I could.
You know that I do not have a... Oh, I do have a backup in the New Realms. Okay, I keep thinking you're the captain. Seems like supposed to be
what are you dealing with?
Theo will kind of adjust himself a little bit in proper fashion. Like, well, I have been the leader of a few missions myself. Okay, let's get out that unit there. Longveer, help me attach this on.
Yep. And done.
All right. Are you ready, Vaughn? Yes, Theo. I am ready. All right. Connecting now. Longveer, did you monitor the matrix?
I will. You see Longbeard kind of reaches in and places both hands on the edges of the matrix.
All right. This will take a while to create the safe room. I have to install several firewalls, redundancy protocols. Let's see. Put that there. All right. That should be sufficient enough. If it does try to infiltrate and manifest itself, it'll be blocked out, and there'll be a kill switch activated.
Did you use the lysine algorithm?
Yes, Lysine algorithm has been installed. I think for backup measures, I think we'll use a Hohenheim protocol as well.
Good idea. Kind of wish Bryce was here. He would be able to.
That would be quite handy.
He would have been able to really bore the system.
As it stands, we don't have that luxury.
If this goes wrong, I'm going to blast this and try to draw all its energy out.
All right, guys, I think we'll stop there before you guys actually pull that off.
Or
all right, or don't. So we have the boys' night out on the space station, and what's going on with the NoBot and Pawn in space?
Yeah, I think that after Bryce realized that it was midnight and Theo still wasn't back from this NoBot thing, he'd probably start heading in that direction, but likely won't be there in time for whatever's going on here.
Well, we can change that. You know, we can say that you were headed on the way there once you were woken up. It's fine. But yeah, right now, I guess we just talk about the session. What do you guys think?
I thought it was pretty awesome. I really enjoyed it. I like the idea that you got these more traditional folk living out
Space Amish.
Yeah,
yes,
space.
right.
Well, actually, that was one of your ideas, Phil. I totally stole
Yeah,
that.
I instantly recognized it. And I was like, yes, he's using it.
I thought it had a nice sort of juxtaposition with the rest of the campaign. It's like, whoa, wait, what do we do in this session? Like houses? What's going on?
Like, especially the way it ended, where you got half the crew outside dealing with a super mechanical, technical thing. Then inside, they're like just kind of drinking beers, relaxed in an environment where there is no tech at all. It kind of gives you that.
Yeah.
There's definitely that duality. There's also duality and like tension, like inside the colony. It's just it's laid back. Everyone's like, hey, let's have a good old time. And then outside in space, it's like, if I get the protocols wrong on this one unit here, we're all dead.
Yes, and I was thinking already that kind of, for this session at least, the captain and Theo have kind of switched positions, because normally I'm the uptight one going, doom, 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 they're all going to die. And here I'm just like, I don't care, I just want to get drunk.
I love it. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I think Bryce is getting dangerously introspective and self-involved right now.
Yeah. Even if you get there, you may not be much use.
Yeah, you also had that weird dream thing where Pawn was jumping in there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what she took from that.
I think this will be a nice turning point for Theo to actually finally recognize that these AI units are actual true sapient AIs. Because I like his view of Pawn at the moment is that Pawn was taught these tricks. Like, he considers them like tricks. Like, the whole fact that she acts like she's ignorant and stuff. She thought that these things are just programmed into it to make it simulate proper sentience in a way. I think now he'll start to recognize that there's actually a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, whereas Bryce has been in intimate enough contact and knows most aspects of Pawn, and very much considers her sapient and is.
Well, setting wise, is Pawn unique with her emotional stuff?
I kind of
that's how I was looking at it.
I kind of pictured her that way, that she was one of the first like somewhat emotional prototypes.
Yeah.
Or maybe some of that. Like Bryce had to install back in some of the like the AI laws that were disabled.
Yeah.
It's almost like she was created to break laws, to have all the restrictions away from her so that she could develop on her own. and sort of self-program herself. At least that's the idea I had for her. So I'd say that she has some unique things going on with her.
I always pictured her to be like modeled after a Shocho. Almost like a daughter unit in a way.
Yeah, that could be. Maybe she's like the next generation of Sosho, and this is the test run.
Uh-oh.
I always thought of Sosha as like a pure logic, almost like a lack of all emotion. Only everything is balanced. It's 51%. Or not. It's it's pass or fail. Which is why I played with the whole thing of beating the AI with the numbers for that weird Kobayashi Maru thing. But I would take chances the computer would logically skip over those.
And maybe the programmer, Hazuki Masa, maybe this is his sort of last rebellion or something, that he created an AI program that is so unlike Sosho.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's it. I was also thinking of Socho as like, if I don't know if anyone's ever played System Shock, but Shodan. That's what I kept immediately thinking of.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good thought.
You can look that up on YouTube though. There's plenty of stuff on that. Like that's what I picture her as. This encompassing, omniscient computer. You will go to Directive 476. Execute.
Yeah, because even the AIs in Genu and what's the Warbot?
Orson is the pilot. Genu is the Warbot.
That's it. Yeah, so we see the AIs in those, and they can barely function without having a human companion. Yeah. So I guess that's what I think as standard AI, I guess.
Well, you guys really didn't interact with Zixon all that much, but Zixon actually had more of a personality. But he didn't last very long.
We can always reboot. We can always reboot. Yeah, we can always reboot Zixon, and then Zixon will kind of develop some cool moments.
I mean, Pon can just take over the NoBot. So we'll have Pon NoBot, and then...
That's what I kept thinking the whole time. I kept thinking that, okay, everyone's going to get slaughtered. I'm going to have to try to find some way of disabling it. And I thought, man, I want to take this. I want to take it. We'll have our own little anime moment where Pon will get absorbed inside of it, and then one of us will pilot inside of it. We'll make this happen.
We'll have our own action.
Yep.
Or Pon's destroyed because she can't completely take it over. We have to escape. Then she explodes.
Oh, a cybernetic battle within.
Yeah, cybernetic.
No AI versus Pon, and like this crazy cybernetic battle.
Yeah, it could end a lot of different ways. I can picture in my head.
Bryce has a dream with a small baby appearing in his head.
Bryce is pregnant in his cybernetics.
It's awesome.
And his sleep.
I actually was thinking about what would happen if Bryce took some of Pon's code and they started co-developing an AI. I don't think that he would actually do that in character though, so yeah, I'm not quite sure.
I don't think Pon's law has prevented that, so maybe she planted some code in Bryce's.
All of a sudden,
oh, what a lovely thought.
Initiate crying protocol. Where? Attention is required.
All of a sudden, the cloning thing kicks in. You hear.
Dada.
Oh no! Right.
You are now father unit. Father unit will now commence fathering.
Oh man! But thanks, guys. I had another enjoyable Saturday.
Same here.
Thank you. I look forward to
tabletop, guys.
Oh yeah, it's tabletop day. Mm-hmm.
Happy tabletop day.
Tabletop day.
Is there a song? Is there like a legitimate theme song?
I doubt it.
We'll make it up.
Okay. Yeah. We'll have one ready for next time. Keep it a waps, keep it a waps.
Wow, yeah.
Then we have to finish with some like heavy death metal,
Tabletop day! Tabletop day! Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think does everybody play next week?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Alrighty. I will see you same bat time, same bat channel.
And hopefully one of the two people that's professionally not here will be.
Yeah, I think I don't think David or Rohir said about missing next week, so it'd be nice to get
Yeah,
that.
I'll have to explain to him why he brought back a plant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, we brought back 2 plants.
Well, I brought back one that I'm kind of obsessed with because it's my sacred plant of doom.
I now picture the Platonic Spade becoming now the Cherry Blossom Room.
Yeah, well, that was what I was thinking. We have all this space that's dedicated to maintaining plant life.
I figured I want to plant my own cherry orchard and have that be the place where I practice. So.
All right, guys. I will talk to you later.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.
All right.